San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium on an overcast but warm afternoon in Southern California as the Chargers play their home opener against the Houston Oilers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to San Diego. Tom Hammond with Joe Namath. Joe, a moment ago, McMahon got a good hand from the crowd as he came onto the field. Can he turn this Charger team into a contender?
I think he can. First of all, this division isn't that strong. Secondly, there are a lot of young players on this Chargers team that looks up to McMahon. He has the background, the track record of being successful, and an inspirational leader. So, yes, I think he can.
Well, the Oilers expected by everyone to be a contender, but a week ago, blown out by the Vikings. What went wrong?
Every phase of their game went wrong last week. The offense, the defense, the kicking game. And, you know, some of the players say, well, so we had a bad game, nothing to it. But the coaches don't like to hear that. They say, you fellas were whipped. We've got to get on the winning track this week, and I look for them to take it out on the Chargers.
Well, under Jerry Glanville, the Oilers have had a history of coming back from defeats. In fact, this is what he said. We've had butt kickings before, and we've always made someone pay for the hanging. Glanville expecting a good effort from his Oilers, looking for their first win of the season against the Chargers today. And Dan Henning is the new coach of the San Diego Chargers, playing his home opener. He was previously head coach of the Atlanta Falcons and now the 8th Charger head coach. The Oilers have won the toss and will receive. Barr ready to kick it off, and Leonard Harris is deep for the Oilers. Harris from the 2. He's got running room down the sideline. Harris finally caught from behind into Charger territory at about the 36-yard line. 64-yard return of the opening kickoff by Leonard Harris. And it was Victor Floyd that chased him down from behind, and there's Floyd who made the touchdown-saving tackle.
Good blocking up front. Also, no flags on this play, which the Oilers have been getting, certainly last week. There's a huge hole there, and then he just makes a good cut to the outside. I'm surprised that Harris didn't take this all the way, showing a little lack of speed or fatigue right here.
But the Oilers in excellent territory. The ball on the 36 of the Chargers. I formation pitch to Pinkett, the tailback. He slips down at about the 35 to the 34. Got a couple of yards before he's covered by Gary Plummer. Here's the Houston offensive lineup now. That offensive line allowed 7 sacks last week. Munchak and Matthews Pro Bowlers. Yarno starts at center. You see the backs and receivers. Now in passing situations, the Oilers go to the red gun formation. Pinkett and Morosco go out. Jeffries and Duncan come in at wide receiver. And Moon will go to the shotgun. 2nd and 8 for the Oilers. Moon's first pass. In the flat to Pinkett. Nice move. He gets to the 30, then is thrown back. He'll be short of the first down. Here's the San Diego starting defensive lineup now, and the defensive line is the strength of this unit. Williams started in the Pro Bowl last season. He had 2 sacks against the Raiders last week. O'Neal listed as a linebacker, but usually plays a down lineman spot. Plummer leads the NFL in tackles with 15. That's the secondary now. Seal was burned several times last week. In the Pirate defense, the Chargers go to get more defensive backs in the lineup on passing situations. And this is one of those passing situations, 3rd and 5. Moon is under center. He's not in the red gun. This is the red formation, 3 wide receivers to the left, and Moon now changing the play. We expect to see him do this a lot this week. And he completes the pass. Good for a first down. Drew Hill. Hill is to the 20-yard line, and the Oilers convert the 3rd down. They get 11 yards from Moon to Drew Hill. Billy Ray Smith chased him down to make the tackle.
Well, Drew Hill just outran the defensive back that time. Just took a little angle. Boy, the Oilers are happy to have Drew Hill back. On the left side of your screen, you'll see Hill leave number 47, Johnny Thomas, who had a bad angle on him. And then, of course, Hill, being the nifty runner that he is, got some additional yardage.
On first down, the Oilers get Alonzo Highsmith and Lorenzo White into the backfield. The ball at the 20-yard line of the Chargers, opening series of the game after a 64-yard kickoff return by Leonard Harris. Lorenzo White makes a nice cut back to the inside to the 14-yard line. Gain of 6. Vincey Glenn, the free safety, had to come up to stop Lorenzo White. First-round draft choice of the Oilers a year ago, and their leading rusher in the preseason. Jerry Glanville's team, picked by many to go to the Super Bowl. Glanville in his 4th full season as the Oilers head coach with a 24-26 regular season record. Counting the preseason, this is the 6th straight road game for the Houston Oilers. They haven't played in the Astrodome yet. White again, the other side. Short of the first down. He's to about the 12-yard line. Billy Ray Smith, the veteran Charger linebacker, and Jim Collins, another inside backer for the San Diego Chargers, coming up to make the stop, and they'll spot the ball at about the 12.
Lorenzo White had a poor game last week, as did the entire Houston Oilers team. But he's getting some good blocking up front today. Already Bruce Davis, the left tackle, and Bob Morosco, the tight end, did a good job. I see Verhulst is back in the game, number 88 at tight end for the Oilers. But they look like they've come to do some work today.
Highsmith and Pinkett now split backs on 3rd and 2. Duncan is in motion. Pinkett. Hit, spins, thrown back. It'll be close for the first down. Vincey Glenn came up to make the hit, and Jim Collins then pounced on him to throw Pinkett back, and it'll depend on the spot of the football whether they made the first down.
Well, watch number 32, Alonzo Highsmith, on the left of your screen, right dead in the center. He puts a block on Gary Plummer that is textbook. Beautiful block. But, of course, Jim Collins comes over quickly enough to stop Pinkett, but not before he made the first down.
He just did make the first down. The ball spotted inside the Charger 10. 10 minutes, 50 seconds left in the first quarter. The Oilers on their first possession, getting a boost by a 64-yard kickoff return by Leonard Harris, and now threatening to score the first points of the game. It is 1st and goal. The ball just inside the 10. It's a long 1st and goal. Highsmith and White in the backfield, I formation. The tailback White totes it down to about the 7-yard line, giving 3 on the play. And it was Bert Grossman, the rookie defensive end out of Pittsburgh, first-round draft choice by the Chargers this year, that made the tackle.
Yes, but this Charger defense has not played up to par. In the exhibition season, they had a fine season. They opened up last week against the Raiders, and they were handled. And Coach Henning's looking for this defensive front, whether he's a rookie or not, as Grossman is, to perform better than they did last week.
Yeah, Henning told us yesterday he was really disappointed in the play of his defense against the Raiders. 2nd and goal from the 7. Highsmith on his first carry is met and driven back. A lot of blue-shirted defenders in on that tackle.
Well, there's the man right there, Martin Bayless. You watch him on this replay if we have it. You'll see him stick his headgear right in there. You'll see Highsmith now cut back to his right, and watch number 44 come from the right side. Well, we don't see him right now. There he is. He's getting his head in there. Good play by Bayless.
It'll set up a 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line. Bayless is out. And the 4-0 defense on the field for the Chargers. Red gun formation, Houston Oilers. Moon drills it incomplete. Intended for Haywood Jeffries. Sam Seal, who was burned by the Raiders a week ago, covering him on the play. And the Oilers will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Well, Sam Seal did a good job of staying with Jeffries. You'll watch Jeffries cut to the inside. They're trying to pick Seal off, but Seal runs around that pick, is in good position. Had he caught the pass, they would have been short of the goal line and had 4th down anyway. I can understand why they'd try to pick on Sam Seal. He gave up a couple of touchdowns last week and really had a bad game.
So Zendejas is on the field. Tony Zendejas, the veteran kicker, to attempt a 24-yarder. Montgomery, the punter, will hold. And Zendejas drills it through. So the Oilers, off the opening kickoff, get the first points of the game. A Zendejas field goal from 24 yards. Glanville and his Oiler Chargers on top, 3-0. Jim McMahon, the Chargers quarterback, on the sideline awaiting his first chance at the football in this game. McMahon coming over in the trade from the Bears on August 18th to become the Chargers quarterback.
And he's healthy, Tom. That's the big thing about McMahon at this stage. He's healthy. He hasn't had much luck in the past with the injuries. And if Jim can stay healthy, he can rally this offense. The big problem with the offense right now is that offensive line. If McMahon can get help from that offensive line, he can help the young receivers he has mature a bit.
Zendejas to kick. Usher and Holland are deep for San Diego. Zendejas with a short kick. It'll be taken out of bounds. So Zendejas kicks the ball out of bounds. There are penalty flags down as well. One of them, I think, went down to mark the out of bounds spot and to signal that the kick was out of bounds. Another was a violation.
Yes, well, they're going to get the ball, San Diego, is at the 35-yard line. That's the new rule that they put in a year ago or so.
I thought there was a penalty also on another play. Let's see.
Out of bounds. First down, 35.
Howard Rowe, the referee, so I think the two flags just indicating that it was out of bounds. And from the 35, the Chargers are in business. Miller, Early, and Holland, wide receivers. Spencer and Caravello also in the game for the Chargers. We'll give you their lineup in a moment. McMahon under pressure, floats it up. It'll be picked off. Intercepted by Steve Brown. McMahon just threw that one up for grabs, and Steve Brown settled under it as easy as could be. Anthony Miller, the closest Charger to the ball, but that'll be the easiest interception Steve Brown has ever had.
We see what happens. Steve Brown got a Christmas present there. Jim McMahon, he wasn't at fault there. Miller needs to read the coverage. You can see he's not even looking inside to see what the defense is doing. Now, surprise, what's the ball doing up there? Well, Miller needs to come off that line of scrimmage and be able to focus on the defense initially and see if it's a blitz, as it was, and then he has to adjust his pattern, and he didn't do it that time.
Is it going to be extra tough for McMahon? Still a little tentative in the Charger system, facing a defense like Houston, which goes all out with stunts and blitzes.
It's going to be extra tough unless he gets a lot of help from his offensive line. That's the big problem with San Diego offensively, is the line.
Oilers first down from their own 40. Lorenzo White hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Plummer and Collins with a tackle.
Well, here you see McMahon going back, and he reads right away. He has to get rid of that ball. And as you see, there's no one out there at all. Now, whether Jim read blitz and Miller didn't, I really didn't see a blitz that time, Tom. It looked like Fuller just came hard and got on McMahon, and McMahon may have blown that play by interpreting a blitz.
So Jim McMahon has thrown his first interception of the season, and Jerry Glanville's Steve Brown has his first pickoff of the '89 season. White lost a yard on that last play at 2nd and 11. Plenty of time for Moon. Completes it to Drew Hill. Hill turns it into a first down. He's across midfield and into Charger territory, a 15-yard gain. Drew Hill back after holding out and missing all of training camp.
Hill will be coming from the right side of your screen across the center part. No one is around him. Gary Plummer tries to make the play, number 50, but Hill has so much speed and quickness, it's a mismatch.
Hill has more receiving yards the last 4 years than anybody in the NFL, with the exception of Jerry Rice. First down, Houston from the 46 of the Chargers. Oilers leading 3-0. Moon goes deep. Incomplete. Jeffries was streaking downfield. Seal was chasing him, but Seal closed the gap and able to get a hand in there to knock it away.
I love it. I love it. These guys from Houston know that Sam Seal had a tough game last week. Jeffrey had a step on Seal, but Seal made up the distance. Now watch number 30. He'll stay close to Jeffries, and then he'll close and get his arms in there. He'll swing his arm in there and knock the ball loose. You see this? Right here, perfect pass by Moon. Just an excellent defensive play by Seal, and that's got to do a lot for his confidence, being around that ball on the first two passes in his direction.
It was actually Ernest Gibbons that was the intended receiver, and Seal, knowing he would be picked on today, has been equal to the task so far. Mix up. Moon goes down. Back into Oiler territory. Bert Grossman got in there to cover him up after Moon looked for someone to hand it to, apparently, and no one was there. Flag on the play. And it's offside against San Diego. Big break for the Houston Oilers there.
Defense. Offside. Number 22. Lined up in the neutral zone. Second down.
So it'll be second down again as Dan Henning sees his team make a bad mistake.
Well, speaking of mistakes, you see either Moon or Alonzo Highsmith does the wrong thing. Now, that got him in trouble last week. They had a couple of busts on a screen play. Moon went the wrong way once. The back went the wrong way another time. And here we see it again. That's, hey, 3 plays for the backs and the quarterback to foul up in 2 games. That's not good at all.
And even the offensive line, Bruce Davis said that last week they just didn't mesh up. Givens sets on the right side. There's a flag down as White tries to turn the corner and cannot. Jim Collins made sure White didn't get outside. Penalty markers all over the field right now.
You know what? I was watching Givens come in motion that time, and he slowed down to a walk.
Third down.
Well, they had 2 men moving. I know Givens has a hamstring problem, but I don't think that was the reason for that type motion that time.
It was odd. He just slowed to a walk and wound up being sort of a wingback on the right side. 3rd and 7 for the Oilers. 7 minutes left in the first quarter. 3-0 Houston. Here's your red gun formation. Now Givens in motion. 3 wides to the left. Moon, incomplete. Intended for Drew Hill, and Vincey Glenn delivered a blow to knock the ball free.
Good play by the San Diego Chargers. I mean, that penalty after Moon had fouled up or Smith could have caused some problems for the Chargers, but Vincey Glenn just comes up and jars the ball loose. Once again, watch this hit. Boom. Good timing. Very good timing by Vincey Glenn. And I'm not too sure that Hill would have held that ball anyway, Tom. Let's take a look, folks. Is Hill going to hold this pass? I don't know. Let's say it's a good defensive play.
Greg Montgomery is on to punt. Second year out of Michigan State. Had 7 against the Vikings last week to average 46.7. Also downed a couple inside the 20. Usher calls for the fair catch, and this one won't be downed. It'll go into the end zone for the touchback. 43-yard punt by Montgomery. And Jim McMahon and the Chargers, who have only squeezed off 1 offensive play, an interception, will get another chance. But first, there's a penalty marker on the field. McMahon says we'll decline it, and so does Howard Rowe.
Illegal member, kicking team, offense, downfield, decline, first down.
So the illegal man downfield is declined, and McMahon and company will start from the 20.
You know, going back to the first interception that McMahon had, I saw him go over there to the telephone, and after watching the replay, I can't help but think that McMahon misread that last coverage. I didn't see a blitz coming. William Fuller, the defensive end, the left defensive end, made an excellent charge, and I think McMahon just misread it.
He'll have another chance when we come back after this message.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Michelob. One taste will tell you why the night belongs to Michelob. By Today's Chevrolet, who invites you to see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. And by Levi's 505 and 506 jeans.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath with you from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. 6:35 left in the first quarter. Oilers leading the Chargers 3-0. This is only the second play of the first quarter that the Chargers have had the ball. The first one, a McMahon interception. This time they'll keep it on the ground to Victor Floyd, the rookie running back out of Florida State, who gets about a 5-yard gain. Steve Brown and Robert Lyles coming up to make the tackle. And there is a penalty marker down. There's your offensive line of the Chargers. Patton and Miller, new faces, Plan B free agents. McMahon says Miller and Early excellent receivers, though they still are sometimes confused by the different coverages. McMahon just 7 of 18 last week. In passing situations, you see they go to their posse set, extra receivers.
Illegal use of the hands, offense, number 88, hands to the face, first down.
Arthur Cox, the tight end, guilty of that penalty, illegal use of the hands, and it'll set the Chargers back after they had a 5-yard gain on first down.
Well, you know, it's tough. You watch 88. He's here on the left side of your screen. You see his hands may get up high, his right hand especially, and you're not allowed to get your hands up around the face mask or the helmet of the defender.
So it's 1st and 17 or 16 yards for the San Diego Chargers. Early is in motion. McMahon's second pass, incomplete. Intended for Jamie Holland, who was crossing, and Steve Brown had pretty tight coverage on it.
Good coverage by Steve Brown. The pass could have been a good catch. McMahon goes over here to him, and let's see. It goes right through his hands. Now, that's supposed to be a completed pass. I know Brown had pretty good coverage on him, but this ball's supposed to be a catch, folks. This is a professional receiver we're talking about.
Floyd and Cox out for the Chargers. Caravello and Bernstein are in on second down. McMahon has it knocked free and almost intercepted again. And McMahon is down back at the 5-yard line. Bubba McDowell, the strong safety, the rookie, came on the blitz and got to Jim McMahon.
McMahon hoping for better protection. We mentioned earlier that the offensive line was the problem.
There's the front seven on the Houston defense. Childress at the nose replacing the injured Doug Smith. Smith may play today. In the secondary, rookie Bubba McDowell, who made that play, starts at strong safety. Tracy Eaton replaces the injured Jeff Donaldson. In passing situations, Houston goes to that 4-0. They get in 6 defensive backs. They're on the field right now on 3rd and 17. And the flags fly again.
This is just the kind of situation that Dan Henning was trying to avoid, these long yardage situations.
Here's Henning in his first year, and he said they...
Offense, number 78, 3rd down.
78, Joel Patton with a false start.
Well, he's probably a little anxious. He has Sean Jones on him right here at the bottom of your screen. He has Sean Jones on him. He knows that Jones is an excellent pass rusher. So Joel Patton just leaned back a little bit in his stance, and you're not allowed to get that head start.
Patton 6'7", 307. McMahon completes his first pass. Bernstein fights across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And a little scrap breaks out. This has become normal behavior for the Houston Oilers. Dan Henning was talking about him being intimidated by the Oilers yesterday and said, we don't believe in taking 10 or 12 penalties to prove we're tough. But we'll not be intimidated. He said we'll match the Oilers tough for tough. And already here in the first quarter, a fight breaks out, and a flag just now comes out of a pocket and flies to the turf.
I hate to see this. I really do think it's a tremendous lack of discipline. These guys are supposed to be able to control their emotions a lot better than they do. Now, I know Houston's a tough, rough football team, but they got out of the box last week, and they lead the league already in penalties. And I know Coach Glanville wants his guys to be tough and play within the rules, too, I might add. Coach Glanville stresses that, but it's an emotional game, and he has a lot of emotional people on his team.
Personal foul call will give the Chargers a first down.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 28 on the defense. First down.
Well, Chris Dishman has been the center of controversy already after the first game. And he gets the personal foul penalty here. Dishman was barking at an injured player living up to that bad boy reputation against the Vikings last week and drew a lot of criticism for his actions. Jerry Glanville defended him yesterday, talking to us, though, and said he's a fine young man, but his actions on the field open to question. First down, Chargers from their own 37. That's their initial first down of the game. Play action pass. McMahon goes deep, wide open, is Early. Quinn Early. Excuse me, it's Miller. Miller inside the 5 and for the touchdown. Anthony Miller went in motion. and came out of the backfield wide open. 63 yards. McMahon found him, and Miller takes it in for the score.
Excellent play fake set this up. Anthony Miller didn't have a defender on him. Maybe the Oilers were still thinking about that last allocation they just had with the Chargers and not concentrating on that coverage. But Miller was wide open.
And of course it was the penalty, the personal foul on Dishman, that gave the Chargers that second opportunity.
You got it.
Chris Barr is on to attempt the extra point from the hold of Archer. Barr kicks it through. So McMahon to Miller, 63 yards, and the San Diego Chargers have their first lead of the game. San Diego up 7-3. Anthony Miller with his fourth catch of the season. His first touchdown has given the Chargers the lead. 63 yards wide open on the pass from McMahon.
And you know, Tom, that Charger defense on the first two series, I thought they did a good job. There was a big kickoff return, then the interception, and they've only allowed 3 points. So with this touchdown, we're liable to see these Chargers really catch fire on defense.
5 minutes left in the first quarter. Chris Barr sends it on its way. Leonard Harris had the big return to open the game. This time it'll be Johnson. Kenny Johnson tries to get outside, makes a nice little move, is finally spun down across the 30-yard line. Another good return, this one up 25 yards. Let's look at the touchdown again, Joe.
Well, there was definitely a mistake in the secondary. We see motion going right. Now either, oops, right there, Bubba McDowell, number 25, got hung up, and you'll see Steve Brown, 24, way downfield there about the 40-yard line. No one's even around Miller. So I'm not sure whether it was Bubba McDowell or Steve Brown, but somebody fouled up that coverage.
And Miller was absolutely wide open. It was an 87-yard drive kept alive by a personal foul penalty on the Oilers, as Jim McMahon has the touchdown pass, and for McMahon, his first touchdown pass of the season. Warren Moon, he's going to try to get it right back. Flag down, Drew Hill and Sam Seal colliding, and it'll be a pass interference call against Sam Seal of the Chargers.
Well, Sam Seal had excellent position that time. I know he'd like a little more help from his friends back there telling him, ball, turn around. He didn't know when the ball was getting there. He couldn't see it, but he did have good coverage.
Pass interference, number 30 on the defense, first down.
It amounts to a 36-yard penalty.
Yeah, and I know Houston will take this game, take it any way they get it, but right now, hopefully you have a free safety or another defender that's yelling at Seal, trying to tell him that the ball is coming, and that's definitely interference. He didn't allow a receiver a chance to get to the ball.
Highsmith and Pinkett on the backfield. Moon will put it up again. Swings it to Pinkett. And he's buried at the 30-yard line. Got 4 or 5 yards on the play. Billy Ray Smith and Gary Plummer combining to get him to the turf. Here's our 10-minute ticker now as we review Week 2 of the NFL season. Cleveland looking to go 2-0. Kansas City comes from behind to beat the Raiders. And Atlanta came from behind to beat the Cowboys there. Green Bay also was down early and came back to win by 1. Some come from behind efforts in Week 2. It almost intercepted. Martin Bayless had it and was looking upfield to take it a long ways, and he just dropped the football.
Boy, you hit it right on the head, Tom. Bayless had it all the way. Martin was looking in the direction of Alan Pinkett to try and break it for a touchdown, because Pinkett was the only man. Look on the left side of your screen. There's number 44. Boom, he takes his eyes off the ball just a little bit to look for Pinkett and dropped it. Good chance that it had a touchdown that time.
The Chargers were coming with Plummer and Collins on a blitz. Dan Henning said they had to put more pressure on the quarterback, and they certainly did it there. Should have had the interception. Now Moon in the shotgun, 3rd and 6. Incomplete. It looked like he intended Ernest Givens to turn to the inside. Givens looked to the outside, and the pass falls incomplete.
Well, once again, the San Diego defense is doing a good job. The big gainer on the pass interference by Sam Seal. Otherwise, the Chargers are fired up. They're getting some pretty good pressure back there on Moon. And tell you what, this McMahon and this Charger defense, they start hitting on all cylinders. We're going to see one whale of a game here, folks.
Zendejas is going to try to get 3 points closer. He'll attempt a 47-yard field goal. And it's no good. Zendejas misses from 47 yards, and Glanville's Oilers still trail by 4. 3:47 left in the first quarter. Chargers up 7-3. Back at Jack Murphy Stadium, which has been a tough place for the Houston Oilers. The Chargers lead the series overall, and against the Oilers, the Chargers haven't lost a regular season game at home since '62. The Oilers did win here in a playoff game in 1979, their last win of any kind here. 3:47 to go first quarter, 7-3 San Diego. Cox in motion. Floyd hit and driven back. Maybe got a yard out of it. John Grimsley, the leading tackler for the Oilers 3 times, played in the Pro Bowl a year ago, led the defensive charge.
Tell you what, one of the things these defensive linemen have to go through, look at number 95, William Fuller. He gets a double team, and they just push him back off the ball. But meantime, there's old reliable John Grimsley filling that hole. You know, when you get the 2 of those boys coming on you, Tom, one's 307 pounds, the other 280, hey, that's a lot of pressure.
Here's Grimsley, who told us yesterday that anticipation was the key to making all those tackles, knowing where the ball was going to go, and that means a lot of pre-game study. McMahon's pass is complete to Bernstein. Bernstein, hard to bring down. He's 6'3", 238, and he carried a couple of Oilers with him. He's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. Al Smith and Bubba McDowell were hanging on to Rod Bernstein as McMahon, after throwing an interception on his first pass, has started to warm to the task.
Bernstein did a good job of fighting for extra yardage. You know, it would be about a 3rd down and 5 now, 3rd and 6 maybe. Here it is 3rd and 2, and this gives the offense more options and certainly takes away some of the options from the defense. The defense has to play run first now.
3rd and 2 for San Diego. McMahon stumbled as he backpedaled, but still managed to complete it to Bernstein for a first down at midfield.
Oh, you see that? Huh? The defense has to play a 3rd and 2 now. They have to play run, so what does San Diego do? They come back with the little pass play. It's only about a 3-yard completion, but meantime, they turn it into a big gainer. They must try to stop that run first. Bernstein's coming right toward you with no one on him, and McMahon picks him out, and here's a big Texas A&M, former Texas A&M end, getting some good yardage.
13 yards to be exact. And the Chargers with a first down at the Oiler 49-yard line. 2:16 first quarter, 7-3 Chargers. Victor Floyd is the only setback now. Early's in motion. McMahon has Miller again. Miller to the 20-yard line. Tracy Eaton made a saving tackle as Anthony Miller catches a 29-yarder from McMahon.
Good pass protection for Jim McMahon. One of the best when he's healthy. Jim McMahon finds his receiver. Now watch his pass protection. You're not going to see an Oiler anywhere near McMahon, and that's what Coach Henning wants. Perfect pass. There's no one around Miller. These Oilers have not been performing well today. Last week they did a bad job, and right now they're in trouble.
Jerry Glanville said after the Viking game, I told them to all look in the mirror and point the finger at yourself, me included, a total team embarrassment. Right now, they're reeling against the Chargers. Floyd slips a couple of tackles, turned what appeared to be maybe a loss into a gain of 3 or 4. Tracy Eaton gets the stop. He had 13 tackles against the Vikings a week ago to lead the Oilers and rank 2nd in the NFL. He trails only Gary Plummer of the Chargers, who had 15 against Los Angeles.
Yeah, but it's not always good that your free safety's making a lot of tackles, Tom, because usually it's downfield. You know, you'd prefer for your defensive lineman or linebacker to be the leading tackler. When the secondary guys are, especially a free safety, that's not a good sign.
2nd down, 5 for the Chargers. Floyd. Nothing this time. He may have fumbled the football. It'll be the Chargers football as Floyd was met at the line that time and went down hard. Robert Lyles and Ray Childress stuffing that play at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Exactly it. They stuffed it, boy. Childress came off that ball and pushed Courtney Hall back in the backfield, and that's the kind of play that I know the Oilers want to get.
45 seconds left in the first quarter. This is a 3rd and 6. Early in motion. Swing it complete to Bernstein. Bernstein tries to pick up the first down. He's going to be about a yard short. Johnny Meads hit Bernstein. Bernstein carried him for a couple of yards, but just came up short. And now on 4th down, Henning will decide whether to go for the field goal or try to get the 1 yard.
I can't believe he's going for the 1 yard, and I'll tell you why. You have an offensive line for these Chargers right now that from center, right guard, left guard, hey, they're still trying to get things together. They haven't performed well in the preseason. They haven't performed well. It didn't last week, and you're going against one of the best defensive fronts in the game. I can't see them going for this first down here. They're taking a big chance.
McMahon has hit 6 passes in a row, and Dan Henning has asked for a timeout. McMahon asked for the timeout officially from the referee. He gets it, and they'll talk over this potential 4th down play. And while we watch the strategy being mapped on the Chargers sideline, we'll review the late starting games.
Eric Dickerson out there with the Rams. They're playing against the Rams for the first time. Giants had a big win last week on that Monday night game against Washington. Boy, Phoenix is jumping all over Seattle.
And right here at Jack Murphy Stadium, the San Diego Chargers lead the Houston Oilers 7-3. McMahon talking to the coaching staff of the Chargers, discussing this 4th down play. And we remind you that we will be selecting a Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game. It'll come up at the conclusion of the contest.
You know, Tom, I mentioned I wouldn't go for this first down. Once again, I think the Oiler defensive front is better than the Chargers offensive front. Plus, the Chargers defense has been playing well so far. Get the points. Take the points when your defense is doing a good job.
Chargers have 3 tight ends in. Cox, Caravello, and Bernstein. Spencer and Butts are the running backs. Butts is the fullback, and now he's the only back behind McMahon. It'll be a pass. McMahon for the end zone. Knocked away and incomplete. There's a flag down. Rod Bernstein, the intended receiver in the end zone, covered by Steve Brown, who knocked it away. Glanville says decline it, so apparently the penalty against the Chargers.
Illegal motion. 82. Offense. Decline. First down.
So Bernstein with the illegal motion. And Joe, as you were afraid, the Chargers go all the way down the field and come up empty.
Yeah, one way or another, you know, to go away without points here it really hurts the team and really lifts the Oilers at this stage. I know the Oilers they're never going to quit, but the momentum was on the Chargers side. Adding those points and putting your defense back out there that's been doing a good job would have been the way I would have chosen to go.
With 27 seconds left in the first quarter, the Oilers have a first down from their own 12. They trail 7-3. Hand off to Lorenzo White. Turns the corner for 4 or 5 yards, out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. Martin Bayless comes up to make the tackle. Gary Plummer gets an assist. Well, Warren Moon told us yesterday that he was going to be more aggressive in his approach to this game. He said he's going to take control of the game and to audibilize if the play calling from the bench was not aggressive enough. He said it's going to be my responsibility to use all the weapons in their offense. And what do you say, Joe? It's going to be more of a do-or-die approach to the game by Warren Moon, and he has checked off several times today already. 2nd and 5 for the Oilers. White again. Nothing. Might have lost a yard. Billy Ray Smith was ready for that one, and Lee Williams came up to help him out. Lorenzo White, 10 carries, only 10 yards against the Vikings a week ago after being the leading Oiler rusher in preseason. There's the end of the first quarter from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, with the hometown Chargers leading it 7-3. Ready to start the second quarter in San Diego. The Chargers leading the Oilers 7-3. And despite the fact that the Chargers didn't get any points in their last possession, they have to be buoyed by the events of this first quarter.
Oh, they've played well so far. The defense has been doing a good job. Offensively, McMahon got them going. I'm surprised that the offensive line is doing such a good job for the Chargers. And Houston has not improved over last week at this stage.
Looks like that McMahon has his confidence, too, after throwing an interception on the first play. And now the defense of the Chargers, which has done a good job, will try to hold Houston back deep in its own territory. 3rd and 6, first play of the second quarter. Moon lofts it up. Too high and out of bounds, intended for Drew Hill. Dan Henning saying that they depend on their defense to keep them in the game because their offense is not quite ready yet. And after the first quarter, the defense of the Chargers has certainly done that.
Well, neither team's been able to run the football at all, but the one turnover, that didn't lead to anything. I mean, the Chargers held, so the turnover doesn't figure in. We have an even game going so far.
Montgomery with his second kick of the day. It's blocked. Elvis Patterson came roaring through to block the kick. It's marked out of bounds at the Oiler 1-yard line.
Elvis Toast Patterson got that nickname from Bill Parcells of Toast. He got burned a few times, Tom, a couple of years ago. And he came here to San Diego as a replacement player in '87, won a job, and he's still here. And boy, are they glad he's here. He's going to come from your right side of the screen, folks, number 34. He'll stretch out and get those hands up. You see, he goes inside. Now, Dishman made the cardinal mistake of allowing Patterson to go inside. Number 28, Dishman, left him go and took the outside rusher. You never do that. You don't let a rusher run inside you.
1st and goal from the 1. Butts, touchdown. Marion Butts, the rookie out of Florida State, with his 3rd touchdown of the young season. And Jerry Glanville's favorite Oilers having the fight carried to them by the Chargers so far.
Butts is strong. He hit behind the right tackle. Brent Miller had enough room afforded by Miller. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to stop Butts one-on-one. I mean, he goes at 248 pounds. That's a load to try and stop.
And Barr with the extra point is good. And the San Diego Chargers, taking advantage of the blocked punt, get the touchdown run from Butts to lead it 14-3.
On the left side of your screen in the corner, that's Chris Dishman, number 28. Now, he lets Patterson go inside, and he comes out to block Bird. You never allow a rusher to get inside you. It's a shorter route to that block point. You want to get the man inside and take the guy, let the guy run around you from the outside.
Barr's short kick taken by Tracy Johnson of the Oilers, who takes it out to the 32-yard line, where he's stopped by Marion Butts, who just scored the touchdown. Butts, who spent his senior year at Florida State in 1988 blocking for Sammy Smith, has already scored 3 touchdowns, and there gets his special team tackle. Mike Rozier now makes his first appearance of the season in the Houston Oilers backfield. Rozier, the leading rusher for 4 seasons for the Oilers, a holdout all through training camp. This is his first appearance of the season. Alonzo Highsmith back there with Rozier. Mike Rozier on the carry, gets 4 yards to the 35-yard line. Martin Bayless from the strong safety spot makes the tackle.
Well, the main concern right now with Rozier is, can he hold on to the ball? I talked with running back coach Frank Novak from the Oilers, and he said Rozier is not in the best shape yet, and that's to be understood. He hasn't been working that hard while he's been holding out. But the big concern for them is, while he's in there, will he hold on to the ball when he gets hit? He hasn't been hit since last season.
Second down play for the Oilers, who trail 14-3. 14 minutes left in the second quarter. Moon's pass a little too wide for Alan Pinkett, and it'll be 3rd and long coming up.
Well, Pinkett had plenty of field out in front of him. Jerry Glanville's got to be wondering, when are we going to get out of this rut we're in? Well, they haven't lost 2 games straight, huh? There may be that record broken today. We don't know. But that last play, Pinkett just, if he holds on to the ball, he's going to get first down.
Moon not having a good day to start this game. He goes into the red gun with 4 wide receivers. The Chargers counter with 6 defensive backs. Moon's pass almost intercepted. Patterson almost picked it off. There is a penalty marker down.
Boy, and that was a late penalty marker. Very late penalty marker. Oh, man.
So the interference call against the Chargers gives the Oilers new life.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 24. First down.
They called it on number 24, Lester Lyles.
Well, we don't have it. I did see Lyles do a little bit of bumping in there, and obviously it was enough to be construed as pass interference. A big break for the Oilers.
It gives them a first down at their own 40-yard line. 6 defensive backs in again for the Chargers on this first down play. Moon from the shotgun. It's complete to Jeffries. Out of bounds in Charger territory at the 46-yard line. He cut up in front of Sam Seal for a 14-yard reception.
That's the kind of pass protection Moon likes. I know Seal is giving up some big plays last week, so he's giving a little cushion, but you'll see Moon have all the time he wants back there. The Chargers are only rushing 3 people, and, well, Jeffries is wide open on the sideline. Good pass by Warren Moon.
Another Oiler first down. Houston trailing 14-3. 13:42 left in the first half from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. There's a penalty flag down. It was not a delay of game. Still 5 seconds on the 45-second clock. It's illegal procedure against Houston.
I think they're going to call Bruce Matthews, but all he did was lift up his left foot a little bit. It didn't look like he was in that. And he wasn't in a 3-point stance.
Flag, thrown in error, no penalty, first down.
Well, you convinced him, Joe.
Well, it was before the snap. As long as you're not in that 3-point stance, offensive lineman, you can move before the snap a little bit.
And good judgment by the officials to admit the mistake and pick up the flag. Jerry Glanville's team blown out for the Vikings last week, trying to rebound here in San Diego and finding the going pretty tough. Moon has it complete to the 25-yard line. Drew Hill in the middle of the defense for 21 yards and another Oiler first down. Lester Lyles and Vincey Glenn trying to cover Hill, but he got between the defenders for the first down catch.
Hill is so quick and smart, and you give Warren Moon this much time, he's going to burn you. Excellent pass protection right there. Just in the middle of the field, and there he is. I know they're happy to have Hill back. Now, you watch Leslie O'Neal. Maybe we'll see him later. He's the best pass rusher that the Chargers have, but Bruce Davis did a good job on him.
First down from the Charger 25. 3 wide receivers set to the left. Instead, they'll run the ball. Alonzo Highsmith just tripped up inside the 15-yard line. Vincey Glenn got a hand in there, or Highsmith was going to take it in. 13-yard gain.
Good blocking up front from the center of that line. You'll see Leslie O'Neal, 91. He gets trapped. Bruce Matthews turns him out nicely for a huge hole on the inside. And, you know, George Yarno is playing in that center position for the Oilers today, and it's a good thing that they got Yarno as a Plan B free agent player. He has a lot of experience behind him, and he's stepping right in and doing a good job.
Replacing the injured Jay Pennison. First down from the 12. Highsmith, nothing, driven back. Joe Phillips met him at the pass and bowled him over backwards, and then Grossman came in to get a piece of it too. Grossman, the 8th player taken in the draft this year, didn't sign until late in August, missed 5 weeks of camp in a contract dispute, but was the first defensive lineman taken in the '89 draft, a 3-year starter at Pitt. Has a 30-inch leap. They say he runs a 4.65 40, and he could really be a big, important piece of this San Diego defense. 2nd and 12. Moon for the end zone. Touchdown. 14-yard strike for the score. Ernest Givens went up top to get it and maybe shaken up. Lyles and Glenn had pretty good coverage, but Givens just went upstairs to get the football.
And Moon was right there with the pass, too. Givens did a little flip, hit the ground hard, but he held on to that rock. Maybe on the left side of your screen, you'll see Givens come into view between the defenders, actually wide open. Yes, sirree. Hard to keep up with Givens and Hill and Jeffries. Boy, these guys have some good receivers, Tom, when they're healthy.
Absolutely, and Givens with the good hands to hold on to the football when he really took a blow from the defense. Ernest Givens with the touchdown catch, his first touchdown of the 1989 season. Had 60 receptions last year and 5 touchdowns. And he's apparently okay.
Gets a nice round of applause from these San Diego Charger fans. I like that, Tom. That's hospitable.
Well, he's a good one. They enjoy seeing him play. 2nd-round draft choice out of Louisville, now in his 4th year. Zendejas will try to get the extra point. The punter, Greg Montgomery, will hold. The extra point is good. So the Houston Oilers mount their best offensive drive of the game. And with 11:18 left in the first half, the Chargers lead reduced to 4.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By First Brands Corporation, makers of Prestone Advanced Formula Antifreeze. And by Anheuser-Busch, we brew our fine quality beers to be enjoyed responsibly. Remember, know when to say when.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Zendejas ready to kick it off after the Oilers have made it a 14-10 game. San Diego with the lead and just over 11 minutes left in the first half. Usher fields it a yard deep in the end zone. Darrell Usher tripped up at about the 15-yard line. A flag down. Another flag. Another. Kenny Johnson downfield in a hurry to make the tackle on Usher. Penalty flags all over. Still trying to sort it out.
Personal foul. Clipping on a run back. 35. Receiving team. First down.
Marion Butts, the rookie, with the clip.
Well, Butts, right here, folks, in the center of your screen, you see him blocking below the waist. You're not allowed to do that anywhere. And, well, he's a college guy. This is his first year of pro ball. Maybe he doesn't understand that.
That was an old-fashioned clip.
It sure was.
It puts the Chargers all the way back to their own 8-yard line. Bernstein in motion on first down. Floyd at the 5, hit and dropped. Loss on the play. Johnny Meads making the tackle, and Victor Floyd and Marion Butts, the two rookie running backs, getting a lot of action. And of course the Chargers playing without Gary Anderson, their leading rusher of a year ago, the very versatile runner and receiver. He is a holdout, and talking to Steve Ortmeyer, the player personnel manager of the San Diego Chargers, general manager, he says there's no movement at all. They haven't talked in about 2 weeks, and he said about Anderson, he plays here or he won't play. No plans to trade him. McMahon. Bernstein fumbled it. Well, they're going to rule it a catch. They say yes, complete to the 9-yard line. Only a gain of 2 or 3 on the play as Bernstein kind of fumbled it and then fell on it.
Well, McMahon doesn't want to hold the ball very long at this end of the field, certainly. Bernstein could have caught the pass, but he wouldn't have gone anywhere. I mean, Bubba McDowell, 25, is in excellent position right there to make the play, and it'll still come up with a 3rd down and long situation.
This is the kind of situation that Oiler defense loves, too. They can really get after them, as I thought might be the case. The replay officials having a look at this last one. Royal Cathcart reviewing this play.
Well, does he have it? It's inconclusive. And what difference does it make? I mean, we're talking about a half-a-yard difference or something here. See if we can tell for sure if that ball hits the ground. You really can't tell.
I thought he got his hands under it just before he went down. I thought it should be ruled a catch.
Do you know for sure?
No.
Okay. And if they can't tell by the replay, folks, then they'll stay with what the officials had ruled on the field.
Well, back there behind that tinted glass someplace, they are looking at the replay. Royal Cathcart is the replay official here today.
I like that name, Royal Cathcart. We'll take one more look at it, folks. Now, does that ball touch the ground? Can you tell? I can't tell.
After further review, play stand, 3rd down.
Well, the play stands, and I suspect, as you predicted, it was inconclusive. Jerry Glanville with a chance to let his defense attack here. 3rd and 9 from the Charger 9-yard line. That's early in motion, and McMahon drops back. He's going to scramble, and he's going to pick up the first down. Hit just at the sideline. William Fuller was bearing down on McMahon, hit him just as he got to the sideline, but McMahon able to pick up the first down. Well, that's the Jim McMahon we have come to admire in his play with the Bears as he scrambles 10 yards for a Charger first down.
This could be a colossal play for the Chargers. With their backs against the wall, good coverage downfield. McMahon takes it upon himself to get outside, and he knows exactly where that first down marker is. He may not be as quick as he once was, but he still has the guts of a burglar, boy. He's tough.
And even with those bruised ribs that he suffered a week ago, taking a tough hit, and he said one of the reasons that hampered his play was he couldn't bark out the signals because the bruise was painful. Right here, though, he has to call for a timeout.
Well, you know what happens. That clock starts running so quickly on a 45-second clock. In order to get the play off, McMahon could have fallen behind there because he was downfield and had to get back to call the play. So he probably felt like he was running out of time.
So the Chargers call their 2nd timeout of this first half. 9 minutes and 40 seconds left in the opening half of play as Dan Henning argues his case with the field judge. I don't know what he's arguing about.
The clock.
Believe me, you're out.
Dan Henning, former quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. 15 years as a coach in the NFL. You know, one of the reasons that McMahon might be struggling is new terminology coming from the Bears, and that takes up a lot of time, especially if you have to call a play like this.
Well, you know, when you're working a system as McMahon did with the Bears for years, and then you come to a new team, you have to learn to say shift. I can't even start out. Shift, trips, right, stay, H, tight, Z, buzz, auto, left, stack, pass on 2. And folks, that takes a lot of time. And not only does it take time, but McMahon has to know what each word means. Now, he's been with the Bears. They run the same kind of plays, but the motion has different names. The pass routes have different names. The players in the backfield, well, Chicago doesn't even run an H-back most of the time, and here you see the H-back is involved in the terminology. So McMahon knows offensive plays, defensive plays, but he's having a tough time grasping the terminology.
Dan Henning said McMahon was comfortable with this offense, but still a little tentative. As Henning said, the computer is not locked in yet. Early and Holland are wide to the right. Floyd in the backfield. And now Cox, the tight end, moves to the right. Early in motion. McMahon in trouble, unloads it, and it's complete to Cox. Cox to the 25-yard line. There again, McMahon bought a little time and turned a potential sack into a gain.
He bought a little time, Tom, but he got some excellent blocking from his rookie center that time, or the front part of his line. Watch number 53 in there, Courtney Hall. Now, he's on Big Doug Smith, who is a load, but Hall stays right in front of him, the rookie from Rice, and I'd say they're really high on Courtney Hall, and that plays an indication of what kind of center is. He's going to be around a long time.
Well, he's just 21 years old. Joe, he started high school at the age of 12 and went to college at the age of 16. Floyd, the only setback on 2nd and 2. McMahon throws it, nobody looking, and he still hasn't looked. Miller was downfield trying to block. McMahon said, hey. Miller never did look.
He never did. Could have been an audible. I can't believe that the play was called in the huddle and Miller didn't understand what it was. Certainly isn't a lot of noise out here right now, so I don't know what the problem was other than these boys weren't on the same page that time.
Did you see McMahon in that tight shot looking at the sideline as the play came in? He was saying it again to himself. Again, he has to think about it every time. He just doesn't do it automatically. Early in motion. McMahon drills it complete to Holland. Jamie Holland tripped up all the way down close to the 45-yard line. Jamie Holland on a 27-yard strike from Jim McMahon. Patrick Allen just tripped him up.
Good choice by McMahon from the right side of your screen. There you see 86. Holland get inside of Steve Brown, break the tackle, and make the big gainer. Now, you may recall McMahon's been hitting Bernstein in the short flat area, Aaron Cox in the short flat area. This time McMahon looked there, then went inside and hit Holland. Good play.
Miller is wide to the left, Early wide to the right. Floyd, the tailback. Arthur Cox goes in motion. Reverse, there's a flag down. Anthony Miller nowhere to go. McMahon's going to try to block for him. Miller in reverse, slung down back at the 33-yard line by Bubba McDowell. There is a penalty marker. That one never had a chance.
No, it didn't have a chance. You run reverses when you know the defense is reacting in a certain manner. That time, Houston had it played beautifully all the way.
Illegal procedure against the Chargers.
Illegal formation. Offense. Decline. Second down.
Well, you know what that illegal formation means. In this case, it means they just don't have enough men up on the line of scrimmage. Here you see, now look out here. There's Bubba McDowell, there's John Grimsley. I don't know what the Chargers saw that thought that they could get this reverse working, but maybe Houston heard it in the huddle. Did you think they heard
and they
it?
played it like they had, I'll say that. It went for a 17-yard loss. Second down, 27. McMahon's in trouble. Got away from McDowell and threw it incomplete, intended for Floyd. Bubba McDowell back there in McMahon's face once again.
I'll tell you what, McMahon should be happy that he got away with that, because McDowell was in excellent shape to make that interception had the ball had more heat on it and been up higher. Here you're just getting a whole picture of this Oiler defensive secondary. Now they're just going to play a zone defense to dropping back into different areas. Even down here in the bottom right, you see McDowell plays his zone. Now if the ball is up, if the ball's up, you'll see an interception there.
3rd down and 27. Draw play to Bernstein. Rod Bernstein drops at the 47-yard line. It went for 10 yards, but not enough for the first down. Tracy Eaton and Steve Brown coming up to waylay Rod Bernstein and bring up a punting situation.
Oiler defense did a good job this series. After their offense scored, they did what they had to do. They stopped the Chargers.
Lewis Colbert, who really struggled, only averaging 34 yards a kick against the Raiders. Here's the boos here after his first effort of this game. We asked him yesterday if the first one today isn't so hot, can you overcome it mentally? And he said, no problem. I was just trying to guide the ball a week ago. I'm just going to kick it. It only went for 14 yards. Let's see if he can overcome it. He's got to be talking to himself. We've got a timeout. 7:28 left in the first half from San Diego. Chargers up by 4. Tommy Roy and director J.D. Henson. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath. San Diego, the Chargers leading 14-10. The Oilers with a first down at their own 39. Alan Pinkett. Pinkett needs one block. Driven out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Curtis Duncan was able to spring him with a block, and then Johnny Thomas chased him down. It went for 51 yards, but it'll come back. Look at Pinkett's frustration. There is a penalty down against the Oilers. The most penalized team in the NFL gets another costly one.
Holding, number 74, offense, first down.
Pro Bowl starter Bruce Matthews called for the hold, nullifying a 51-yard gain.
Hey, well, you're going to get some holding calls. You know, that's just the way it goes. It happens they had a big play that time, but that 74 right there, Bruce Matthews, is one of the best guards you'll find in the business. Every now and then they get a hand hung up on there, even without trying. You know, they can get a holding penalty called on them. These defensive players are so agile. You get your hands on them as a blocker. Next thing you know, they're moving over here, and you have your hand around them and get called for holding.
First down, now 20 yards to go. Double wide receivers to either side as Moon operates from the shotgun. And he completes the pass. It's complete to Jeffries. He turned up in front of Sam Seal to make the catch after Moon avoided the rush from Leslie O'Neal, who came untouched. 12-yard gain.
From the right side, number 91, Leslie O'Neal comes clean. No one lays a hand on him, but Moon smartly steps around him, and then Moon finds an open receiver. Throwing to his left as a right-handed quarterback, folks. I keep telling some people how hard it is to throw that ball for a right-hander when you're running to your left, but Moon can do it all.
Haywood Jeffries, another one of the talented receiving core of this Houston Oiler team. Second down, now 8 yards to go. Chargers in their nickel defense. And a flag goes down as the 45-second clock ran out. Delay of game penalty.
Offense, 5 yards, second down.
Houston wasn't even in a hurry. I mean, Warren's got to be surprised. There it ran out. They were just getting set. Obviously, they didn't check that 45-second clock, and now it's running down to 25. You know, we hear 45-second clock, 30-second clock. Folks, it's the same clock. But when the officials mark the ball, you have 45 seconds before the snap. If it's an incomplete pass or another and they mark it, it's 30 seconds before the snap.
Ernest Givens in motion. Moon across the middle, almost intercepted. Johnny Thomas got his hands on it but couldn't hold it.
Good play, Thomas. Excellent position.
In that Indianapolis Ram game, Eric Dickerson scored on a 2-yard touchdown run. 17-17 now. Dickerson at last report had carried 11 times for 44 yards and a touchdown.
Well, I know we didn't have many upsets last week, but I see that the Detroit Lions are beating the Giants at halftime. And folks, to me, that is a surprise. Giants looked great against Washington on Monday night, and Detroit, awful young team.
Big third down play for the Oilers. Plenty of time for Moon, who sails it downfield. Incomplete. Drew Hill drew double coverage down the sideline. Glenn and Thomas with him stride for stride. And the Chargers bring up a punting situation for the Oilers. Good defense by San Diego.
That's it. Boy, doesn't look like the same team that played the Raiders last week. Moon gets the time. Sure, they're not getting much pressure back there, but Vincey Glenn will come from the... Here he comes into play, and he's able to break this thing up. A nice play by Vincey Glenn, because, tell you what, number 47 was beaten by a couple of yards there, Tom. Johnny Thomas, the defensive back, and Glenn saved the play.
Darrell Usher deep for the Chargers. Montgomery to punt. Montgomery with another good kick. Usher to the 10. There's a flag down. And Usher is down. 54-yard kick by Montgomery. Usher brought it back 9 yards. We'll check the penalty. Tracy Johnson downfield to make the tackle on Usher. Montgomery's done an excellent job of punting through the preseason and first 2 games of the regular season.
Oh, he's good. You know, we have or may have a running into the punter here, but it's not going to do much because it's only a 5-yard penalty now. Certainly wasn't a play.
Offense. Illegal member kicking team downfield. Personal foul. Running into the kicker. 5-yard penalty. Penalties offset. Replay.
Replay the down. No big deal. Now watch this running into the kicker, folks. Now, Montgomery, I don't know if he's been to acting school or not, but he doesn't get a hard hit here. You tell me if this is worth a penalty.
Well, Patterson, who has blocked the earlier Montgomery punt, just gave him a little nudge, and Montgomery went down like he had the legs cut out from under him. We'll try it again. Montgomery to kick, and Usher deep for San Diego. 14-10 Charger lead. 5:56 left in the half. This kick not quite as good. Usher at the 21. Another flag down as Usher brings it back 10 yards. The punt covered 43. Usher returned at 10 before he was stopped by Scott Kozak. And there is another penalty marker. Howard Rowe and group have had a workout first half.
Illegal block. Number 43. Return team. First down.
Tim Spencer guilty of the illegal block.
Boy, this is like running into the punter. I don't know. He may have just put his hand on the defender right here on the left side of your screen on the hash mark. There he gets his right hand on the shoulder pads, and that is a penalty. You can't put your hands on the back of a player in a kicking situation like this at all, whether you shove him or not. He just barely touched him, but they called the penalty, and justifiably so.
Kind of a ticky-tack foul. Do you think that the officiating crew, with the reputation of the Oilers, being strictly interpreting the rules today?
Yeah, well, you need to strictly interpret that, because those are the kind of things that can lead to unnecessary injuries.
First down for the Chargers from their own 15-yard line. Floyd. Victor Floyd with a short gain. John Grimsley on the tackle for the Oilers. Floyd was slowed by injury as a junior and senior at Florida State, but as a sophomore, he was the #1 rusher and the #2 receiver there for the Seminoles. Rushed for 1,500 yards in his career. He's a pretty good baseball player, too. In fact, batted .306 as an outfielder on the Seminole baseball team as a sophomore. And unusual, isn't it, to have 2 rookies from the same school in the backfield of an NFL team, Butts and Floyd. Butts a 7th-round draft choice. Floyd won in the 11th round. Floyd again. Dropped the football. Al Smith down there rooting around trying to get the football. Let's see who came up with it. It will be the Houston Oilers football. Victor Floyd's fumble is recovered by the Oilers. Ray Childress came up with the ball. Floyd hit by Smith, dropped it, and Childress picked it up.
Oh, Al Smith, I mean, this is a good lick that he gets on here. Watch on the left side, number 54 on your screen, folks. Well, wasn't that good a lick. I thought it was a good hit. He just got his arms in there and knocked the ball loose.
He got into the football and stripped it free, didn't he?
Sure, Al Smith right there, 54. He gets his left hand in there and just pulls the ball away from Floyd.
And there's Big Childress to fall on it. Once he gets it, nobody's going to get it away from him. He's a good one. First down for the Oilers at the 19 of the Chargers. Oilers trailing by 4, 14-10. Pinkett hit, spun down with a penalty marker flying. Leslie O'Neal was ready for the run by Pinkett and spun him to the turf. O'Neal in one of those visors getting that tackle.
Illegal motion. Offense. 77. First down.
Bruce Davis with the illegal motion.
But I tell you, that's what Leslie O'Neal does. He makes that, look at the left side of your screen. He gets, or the right side of your screen, excuse me. Bruce Davis came over just a little early. He was a little anxious to get going that time. Can't blame him for being anxious, though.
Leslie O'Neal is a force to be reckoned with, and he'll try to make you take a head start to deal with him. Moon under pressure, unloads it to Pinkett. Pinkett with blockers in front is to the 10. And stopped just short of the end zone. 23 yards. They set up a screen for Pinkett, and he followed his interference down inside the 1-yard line, where he was tripped up by Lee Williams.
Just a beautifully executed play by the Oilers. They let those Chargers rush you there. They think they're going to get to Moon. Now look out here. There's Matthew Steinkuhler takes on Billy Ray Smith. Pinkett cuts it back nicely, and right here is George Yarno getting down there and making a good block. Boy, that's just a well-executed screen pass.
That was textbook for the blockers, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So Pinkett puts the Oilers into the red zone in the scoring territory. They've got it first and goal at the Charger 1. Moon for the touchdown.
Warren Moon on the keeper. 1 yard. Houston touchdown.
Dan Henning's Chargers gave up the fumble, and Jerry Glanville's Oilers converted into points. Moon on the sneak scores from 1 yard out.
Well, there's not a linebacker there. Warren Moon sees that. He just decides he's going to dive right over there. If you do not have a defensive back or a linebacker there, and you don't see him, he's so deep back there. Number 51, Cedric Figueroa, was nearly out of the ballpark. You got to get up closer to that line of scrimmage, or Moon will do that to you, and a good quarterback will do that to you every time.
Zendejas, the extra point is good. And the Houston Oilers have regained the lead with 3:41 left in the second quarter. Moon with the touchdown drive off the fumble makes it 17-14 Houston. Really impressed by Warren Moon in our talk with us yesterday, as he told us he was going to be more aggressive, and right there he, as you pointed out, Joe, spotted a mistake for the Charger defense not having a linebacker or a back up close, and just dived over for the touchdown.
Sure, he wasn't really keen on the conservative play calling early in the Minnesota game last week. Right now, he's trying to get some information from his quarterback coach, Kevin Gill. Well, that's the trainer to his right now, and Moon appears to be okay, but well, Tom, you take it away.
Well, Joe, we're going to enjoy at halftime Costas and OJ as they bring us scores and highlights, week 2 of the NFL season, and also a feature on Boomer and the Three Bears. All coming up at halftime on NFL Live. Have you seen that commercial?
Oh, I've heard about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I wouldn't miss it.
Zendejas to kick after the Oilers have come back to take the lead 17-14. Usher settles under it at the 3. Got back across the 15 to the 17-yard line where John Brantley makes the stop.
Well, now that's a surprise. There aren't any flags.
Something new.
Well, can McMahon get him going now? You know, it's been in the past, these Chargers, they show some good signs of life, then they fall behind, and the younger players have a tendency to say, uh-oh, here we go again. Well, I don't think McMahon will let that happen to him. I think he's going to get in there, talk to him, keep calm, fellas. We can get this thing going again.
The fumble led to that quick scoring drive. First down play coming up from the 18. Tim Spencer in the backfield behind McMahon. McMahon has a man wide open. It's Early, Quinn Early, to the 47-yard line of the Oilers. 21 yards and a Charger first down, and that's the kind of play, Joe, that will lift this young team to come right up and get a long gaining play, and now the confidence returns.
Right in the middle of your screen, you'll see Early find an open spot right here. You see, he made a little nod outside. Now, what I like is the way McMahon's coming to the open receivers. Once again, he's only been with the Chargers for a couple of weeks, but he does have control of this offense. He knows where his receivers are going to be.
Miller and Early are wide to the left. Now Early goes in motion and comes back. And first down pass to Bernstein. Bernstein with a stiff arm into Oiler territory and down to the 46-yard line. Grimsley and Eaton got him down, but Bernstein, tearing the name off the back of his jersey, picks up 16 and showed us a pretty mean stiff arm there.
Well, this is a good formation. They're isolating a good receiver and forcing a linebacker to get out there on Bernstein, and he just can't get out there as fast as Bernstein. Granted, Grimsley is the best linebacker, certainly one of them in the league and the best for the Oilers, but you can't ask him to cover one-on-one a fleet athlete like Bernstein.
Bernstein got him with a stiff arm right to the face mask, although Grimsley hung on to make the tackle. First down from the 46 for the Chargers. McMahon again floats it for Holland, who can't get there. Fans thought he was tripped by Steve Brown, but no flag.
Well, Brown may have had his hands on Holland a bit, but certainly the side judge didn't think so. He's right back there. You folks decide for yourselves at home. Let's see. Now they're past the 5 yards. No more bumpings allowed here. Oh, he put his arm out in front of him and slowed him down a little bit.
And then got his feet tangled up, too.
Yeah, and I think the folks here in the stadium that saw the replay kind of felt like that should have been interference.
Well, the fans have seen the Chargers go to the air with success today. 201 yards passing, only 14 yards rushing for San Diego. McMahon, quick completion to Brinson. Dana Brinson fights for a first down to the 35-yard line. Bubba McDowell covers him there. But Dana Brinson on his first reception, the rookie out of Nebraska, 8th-round draft choice, takes it for 12 yards and another Charger first down.
This is a different Charger team, folks, with Jim McMahon in there. They've had some decent ball players here, but they haven't had the quarterbacking the last couple of years. They've been talking about how their defense is coming of age, how they have good young offensive talent. Now they have the man that can get up under center and do the job, and we're seeing a different Charger team than we've seen the last couple of years.
Last play before the 2-minute warning. McMahon completes the pass to Butts. And Butts is about 2 or 3 yards short of the first down, tackled by Lyles and Fairs. And the 2-minute warning upcoming. We have officially a minute 55 left in the first half. We've got a timeout with Houston leading 17-14. Dan Henning getting into scoring territory here with the hopes of at least tying the game before halftime. He said about his offensive game plan for this contest, we need to not make as many errors as they made against the Raiders last week and make more plays with a passing game. And certainly the passing game has really picked up for the Chargers today.
Well, that offensive line's been doing a good job of blocking for McMahon, and he hasn't taken a lot of time in choosing his receivers.
Remember now, the Chargers have already used a couple of timeouts in the first half. Butts got a first down to the 18-yard line. Tracy Eaton tripping up the rookie, but Butts with a good run for a Charger first down.
Boy, it looks like Childress just blows in there. You see Childress come clean, and he didn't come clean. Tim Spencer made a good block and forced Tracy Eaton, safety, to get up here and make the tackle. And that's what you don't like to see, but it's a good thing Eaton's a good tackler.
Clock continues to roll, a minute 25. First down from the Oiler 19-yard line. Houston leading 17-14. And the whistles blow the play dead. The play clock did not run out. It will be something else. Let's see.
False start. Offense, number 78. First down.
Joel Patton with the false start. The 5-year veteran out of Duke, who's been around a little bit with Cleveland, with Indianapolis.
There's Patton on the left side of your screen. You see him just starting a little bit early.
Patton now weighs 307 pounds. He told me yesterday when he was a tight end at Duke, he only weighed 225. He said the weight program at Duke really didn't get started till he was in the latter stages of his career. Now he's up over 300 and playing tackle. Early and Holland set to the right, Miller to the left. First and 15. Incomplete. Miller had it bounce off his pads. Patrick Allen came up to make the tackle, but Miller should have had that one. It wouldn't have been a big gain, but it just bounced off his shoulder pads.
It wouldn't have been a big gain, but the ball's right there. Now, I think Miller senses that defensive back's coming up, and you have to catch the ball, or you should catch the ball in your hands. Miller that time was going to put one of those body catches on it, and when that ball hits your pads, sometimes it's going to bounce away. That time Miller allowed the ball to get on his body, and it just bounced away. Use your hands, Anthony.
Early goes in motion on 2nd and 15. McMahon steps up, and it'll be intercepted. Tracy Eaton picks it off after it was tipped twice. Bernstein hit it. Another defensive man hit it. McDowell, I think. And then Eaton was Johnny on the spot to pick it off and end the Charger scoring threat.
Boy, that pigskin is slippery. I mean, McMahon's putting the ball in the receiver's hands, and the ball is slipping right through them. Right now, McMahon smartly buys some time, moves up into the pocket, and then he throws it. It's a little high to Bernstein, but he has both hands on the ball. Here it slips through McDowell's hands, too, and Tracy Eaton must have some glue on his... No, he doesn't have glue on his hands, I know, but that ball must be a little bit slick.
Nice play by Eaton to pick it off. You know, with Eaton, the first-year player, and McDowell, the rookie, back there at free safety and strong safety. Jerry Glanville said yesterday, I kind of feel like coaching freshman football again. Alan Pinkett out of the backfield takes it to the 40, got about 8 yards on the play. Billy Ray Smith made the tackle. And the Oilers take their first timeout, stopping the clock with 52 seconds left in the half. Again, we invite you to stay with us at halftime. We'll bring you up to date on all the scores. Bob Costas and O.J. Simpson standing by. Some interesting games already in this week 2. A lot of come from behind victories, it seemed to me today. And the Juice and Bob will have it all for you at halftime.
Warren Moon getting some instructions over there. That's Kevin Gilbride with the mustache. He is taking June Jones' place as a quarterback coach. And June Jones, who has departed for Detroit, in his departure may have had some reflection or something to do with last week's offensive effort by the Oilers. In other words, Moon felt like that had June been there, or someone that knows Coach Glanville as well as June Jones did, they would have run some different plays possibly. Moon felt that last week's effort with the offensive play calling was a bit conservative too early.
Second down and just a little over a yard to go for the first down. And Moon has the first down as he drills it complete to Drew Hill at the 46-yard line. Johnny Thomas with the tackle on Hill, keeping him in bounds as the clock continues to roll, now down to 35 seconds.
Well, Hill should have taken it out of bounds, but he's trying to make the big play and turn it inside, which is fine.
Moon again with a short pass to Jeffries. Jeffries, just beyond the first down marker, takes it out of bounds for 14 yards. stopping the clock with 22 seconds left. Zendejas getting ready for a possible field goal attempt over there with his holder Montgomery. First down play for the Oilers. Here are the numbers on Moon today. Good protection. Good coverage, too, by the Chargers. Moon still scrambling around. And it's almost intercepted. Sam Seal knocked it away as Drew Hill was trying to come back to the quarterback and get open.
Sam Seal made a terrific play on the strong-arm Moon. Moon had that ball humming out there, but Seal in a full sprint was able to cut in front and break that pass up. The reason Warren Moon had so much time back there to throw is San Diego was dropping 8 men back into coverage, and Warren kept calm. He couldn't find a receiver. He kept calm, moving around, and when he finally did decide to go in that direction, Seal just made an outstanding play.
Seal continues to draw a lot of attention. The Raiders picked on him last week, and the Oilers today as both teams continue to avoid Gil Bird, the other corner. 12 seconds left. Jeffries out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 27 yards. And with 5 seconds left, the Oilers have a chance to score before halftime. Once again, they pick on Sam Seal. He was getting help from Vincey Glenn, but Jeffries with a good catch as Moon delivered the ball, and now Zendejas on the field for the field goal attempt. What a turn of events. It looked like the Chargers were going to get a chance to score before halftime. We get the tipped ball interception. The Oilers march downfield, and Zendejas will be attempting the field goal. It'll be a 32-yard attempt. And Zendejas drives it true through the uprights. The 401st career point for Tony Zendejas as the Houston Oilers leave the field with a 6-point halftime lead as they get the Zendejas field goal on the last play of the game. A scoring drive set up by an interception that was tipped twice before it was picked off by Tracy Eaton, the third turnover of the first half of the San Diego Chargers. At the end of the first half, it's the Oilers leading the Chargers 20-14.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Acura, precision crafted performance exclusively at your Acura dealer. NFL halftime activities will continue after these messages from your local station.
We welcome those of you watching the Houston-San Diego game. Bob Costas back in New York with O.J. Simpson. Big game elsewhere at Anaheim. Indianapolis and the Rams have dueled to a 17-all tie at halftime. Eric Dickerson, 14 carries, 69 yards with a touchdown and 3 pass receptions thrown in. Here's a look at the Dickerson touchdown as he barrels into a wall of Ram defenders and manages to wedge his way across. That was a 2-yard scoring run early in the second quarter. That game has just now moved into the third period, tied at 17. Your thoughts about it, Chiefs?
Well, you know, Eric wanted to have a big day. He told us at the top of the show he felt he had to get 150 yards, carry the ball 30 times to win, and he's well on his way to that. He has to be happy now because most great backs will gain the majority of their yards in the second half. I don't think it would be unusual to see Eric Dickerson run for 100 yards in the second half alone.
Okay, they're tied at 17, and now let's check scores of other games. Minnesota is playing at Chicago. They're just about to kick off in the second half, and the Bears lead in this one 10-7. Mike Tomczak has a 24-yard scoring throw to Neil Anderson. In the game you're watching, after trailing 14-3, Warren Moon has led the Oilers back to a 20-14 lead with a 14-yard scoring throw to Ernest Givens and a 1-yard scoring run of his own plus the Tony Zendejas field goal following that quickie drive at the end of the first half to cap off the scoring. Remember, the Oilers are not a good road team historically under Glanville outside the House of Pain, 9-21, but leading here at San Diego. San Francisco takes a 6-3 lead into the third quarter at Tampa Bay on a pair of Mike Kofer field goals they've just kicked off to start the second half. Detroit, surprisingly, leading 14-3 in the third quarter at the Meadowlands. Bob Gagliano with a 71-yard scoring pass to Richard Johnson in the second quarter, and then Barry Sanders, who's been impressive in his first 2 NFL games, scores from 4 yards out to put the Giants down 14-3 early in the third quarter. Phoenix on the road. They won at the Silverdome against the Lions a week ago, and they're leading at the Kingdome today against the Seahawks 13-7. Gary Hogeboom has a 51-yard touchdown pass to Roy Green in that game. Now, these are finals from earlier today. Cleveland beat the Jets 38-24. Bernie Kosar threw 3 touchdown passes, and Bud Carson is now 2-0 as the Browns head coach, a 58-year-old rookie head coach. Meanwhile, the Jets fall to 0-2. Kansas City had a scare early as Jay Schrader was hot in the first half for the Raiders, throwing for 2 touchdowns, but eventually the Chiefs rally and give Marty Schottenheimer his first win as their head coach, 24-19. Stop the presses on this next one. This is a game for the ages. Philadelphia trailed 20-0. Buddy Ryan's team trailed 30-14 at the half, but Randall Cunningham led them back, and they win 42-37. Didn't look like they would early. First play from scrimmage for the Redskins, Mark Rippon, the first of his 4 touchdown passes, an 80-yard beauty to Gary Clark, and they led 7-0. But eventually, Cunningham brought the Eagles back. We'll give you his numbers in a minute. Here's the sorry end of the day for Gerald Riggs, who rushed for 221 yards, but made this crucial error late. He fumbles. Al Harris recovers. He laterals it to Wes Hopkins, and before the Skins get wise to what's happening, he goes 77 yards down to the 5-yard line with just about a minute to play. From there, it was Cunningham. Watch him zing this one in there on the run to Keith Jackson. Jackson's 3rd touchdown catch. Cunningham's 5th scoring throw. These numbers are not a typographical error. Cunningham was 34 for 46, 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception, 447 yards. Philadelphia goes to 2-0. The Redskins 0-2, and both their defeats have been crushers as they cough up the big lead today, and they lost on the last play field goal on Monday night against the Giants. They've lost 5 straight home games dating back to last year. That's the first time they've had a home losing streak that long since 1952. Cincinnati puts it on Pittsburgh. The score there is 41-10, and so Chuck Noll's team has lost its first 2 games by a combined 92-10. He's wearing the sunglasses so he can travel incognito. Here's Boomer Esiason on the play action fake. Eddie Brown, first game back after the extended holdout, his first reception of the year. It's good for a touchdown. That's the good news. The bad news, Ickey Woods, who had a 1-yard scoring run for the Bengals, sprained an ankle. Watch the second half in street clothes from the sidelines on crutches. We don't know yet if he'll play next week. So Pittsburgh loses to Cincinnati 41-10. Dallas had a 21-10 lead at halftime in Atlanta, but couldn't hold it. 17 unanswered points for the Falcons in the second half, and they win 27-21, despite 23 carries for 85 yards by Herschel Walker. Walker also had a couple of touchdowns as he returned to the site of his collegiate glory in the state of Georgia. He also had an important fumble, which was scooped up by the cornerback Bobby Butler of the Falcons and returned for a 29-yard touchdown. Troy Aikman, by the way, early in the game when Dallas appeared to be in control, threw his first NFL touchdown pass, a 65-yarder to Michael Irvin. This is a scene from Foxborough. That was Mark Clayton talking things over with Dan Marino, and this is Sammy Smith, the last #1 pick to be signed. He ended his holdout this week, running back from Florida State. That was his first NFL carry, good for 21 yards as he made an immediate impact. Here's Clayton latching on to the bullet from Marino in the first quarter. His first catch of the year, good for a TD. Jim Jensen, the veteran, caught 2 touchdown passes. This is the second one for him in the first half, and the 3rd scoring throw of the game for Marino, who winds up with an even 200 after today. In his NFL career, he's gotten to that plateau far faster than anyone in the history of the game, and this just his 89th regular season game. To put it in perspective, Johnny Unitas went to game number 121 in his great Hall of Fame career before reaching 200 touchdown passes lifetime. The all-time record, you'd have to think, is within Marino's reach since he's young and healthy. That record belongs to Fran Tarkenton at 342. So Miami wins 24-10. And Green Bay got a great second-half performance from Don Majkowski. At one point, he completed 18 in succession. The league record for one game is Joe Montana's 22. Majkowski threw for 3 touchdowns, and the Packers, who trailed 24-7 at the half, pull it out at Lambeau 35-34 over the Saints. When we come back, we eavesdrop on the commercial exploits of Bengals quarterback Boomer Esiason. It's Boomer and the Three Bears when NFL Live's halftime show continues.
Halftime at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, with the Oilers coming from behind to take the lead in intermission 20-14 over the San Diego Chargers. Good first half, Joe. Turnovers played a big part in that halftime score.
Oh, certainly. 10 of Houston's points came directly from the turnovers. But I tell you, I've been impressed with the San Diego Chargers to this point. I didn't expect their offensive line to do the job they've been doing.
Actually, the passing game has worked pretty well for both teams.
Oh, both teams. I think Houston is getting something they didn't get last week against the Vikings, and that's pass protection. You recall Warren Moon was sacked 7 times last week. Today, he hasn't had any pressure at all. And you give Warren Moon that kind of time, he's going to find some open receivers. But again, I'm pleasantly surprised for the San Diego Chargers fans and all that they're doing such a good job in their offensive line department.
Let's take a look at the first half stats now as the Oilers huddle up prior to the kick to start the second half. And the Oilers with the lead in first downs. Neither team rushing very effectively in the first half. 32 and 22 yards, Oilers and Chargers respectively. The passing yardage advantage goes to the Chargers. Jim McMahon threw an interception on his first attempt, but came back with a good effort in the first half. 241 to 203 passing yards. The Chargers again with the advantage. Turnovers were incorrect, I think, there. The Chargers actually turned it over 3 times in the first half. 2 interceptions and 1 fumble. Zendejas ready to kick off to get the second half underway. 2 teams that struggled in the first week and coming back with a better effort in week 2. Darrell Usher, the deep man, along with Holland for the Chargers. Zendejas ready to put the foot to the pigskin.
That slippery pigskin.
It does take funny bounces, doesn't it?
Funny bounces, and we saw there toward the end of the first half in 2 plays, 3 receivers. The ball.
Zendejas ready to put the foot to the pigskin.
That slippery pigskin.
It does take funny bounces, doesn't it?
Funny bounces, and we saw there toward the end of the first half in 2 plays, 3 receivers. The ball slipped through 3 different players' hands.
Were you ever faced with a leadership role similar to Jim McMahon's, where you had a young team that looked to you to lift them?
I sure did, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. I'll tell you what it was. It was one of my last years with the Jets. Last year when we had Coach Lou Holtz, now the Notre Dame coach, was coaching us, we had 27 new faces on our team 4 days before we opened up with the Cleveland Browns. That was tough.
Here's Zendejas with the kick. Close to the sideline, and they'll let it bounce out of bounds. Second time today, Zendejas has put a kickoff out of bounds, and so the Chargers will get it at their own 35-yard line.
Well, Zendejas, he could kick it straight away. He's trying to get that thing right there in the corner so they can get down there and cover it to that one side of the field. And of course, it's the second time, as you mentioned, Tom, and that gives the Chargers good field position from their 35-yard line to get going.
And Zendejas not happy with his effort. 20-14 as we start the second half. Zendejas kicking the ball out of bounds, so the Chargers in pretty good shape with a first down at their own 35-yard line. Marion Butts. Butts fumbled the football. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. He fumbled the ball. They're still fighting over it. Looks like the Oilers have it. Still waiting for the official words. Yes, Oilers football. Al Smith wrestled it free. Marion Butts fumbled, and that is the 4th San Diego turnover of the game, and it comes on the first play from scrimmage in the second half.
Well, let's see if we can tell what happens with Butts. Number 54, Al Smith, just coming right around the corner here. And I can't tell. I can't see anyone from this angle, but the ball is loose. It's on the ground right now. So the ball was jarred loose fairly early there.
Butts, the rookie from Florida State, with the fumble. His fellow rookie Floyd fumbled earlier. 2 of the 4 turnovers by the Chargers today. And as you mentioned at halftime, Joe, 10 Oiler points have come as a direct result of Charger turnovers. Moon tries to get some more. Gibbons went down to his knees to make the catch, but it was a clean catch right in front of the defender, Johnny Thomas. About 8-yard gain on the play. Williams and Grossman were bearing down on Moon, who rolled out of there and was able to get it to Gibbons. It was a little low, but Gibbons went down to pick it up.
6 yards.
Officially a 6-yard gain, so Moon now with a second down, 4 yards to go. Ball on the 29-yard line of the Chargers. Ernest Gibbons in motion. Now sets up 3 wides to the left. Handoff to Highsmith. Alonzo Highsmith charges forward to the 20-yard line. Tough running by Highsmith, who picks up an Oiler first down.
Good running, good blocking up front. Highsmith kind of slips as he gets the ball, but he's able to recover his momentum here. He gets a little slip down there, and then look at the huge hole inside. My goodness, Munchak, 63, did a terrific job. And I guess the rest of the line did too. He could have driven a truck through there.
First round pick out of the University of Miami. Jerry Glanville says he's the best blocking back in the NFL. He can carry the ball too. 3 wide receivers set to the right. Hill in the slot. Moon looks for him. And his pass will be incomplete. Gibbons was closest to that one. And Gil Bird was right with him. So Moon just sailed it away, and it'll be second down coming up.
Well, Moon would like to get on the scoreboard here. It's a great opportunity created by the turnovers of that Houston defense. There's Gilbride, who is now the quarterback coach with the Oilers, and he sends in the plays along with Cody Carlson for Warren Moon to call. Moon, of course, has the right to audibilize at any time.
Mike Rozier is in the game right next to Warren Moon. Unofficially only his second play of the game. Moon steps up and completes the ball. Curtis Duncan makes the catch. 15 yards and a first down at the 5. Duncan beat Elvis Patterson, and Moon got the ball to him.
Well, it's a nice crossing pattern from your left side of the screen to the right. Moon puts the ball in a good position to be caught here. Now Duncan has a little bit of a trouble getting the handle on it, but he's able to keep it away from Elvis Patterson. Once again, you give Warren Moon that much time in the pocket with this group of receivers that he has, and they're going to put big numbers up on the board.
Moon, a Pro Bowl starter after the '88 season, even though he missed 5 games with that fractured shoulder blade he suffered in the first game against the Colts in '88. First and goal, just beyond the 5. Pinkett. Stopped for no gain by Gary Plummer. Plummer, coming off that career-high 15 tackle game against the Raiders, was also the #1 tackler for San Diego last year. Former nose tackle at the University of California in Berkeley. There's Plummer, number 50. Joey has a yellow belt in Taekwondo. I wouldn't want to fool with him.
I wouldn't want to fool with him even if he didn't have his belt.
6'2", 240 pounds. Looked like he was going to come off the field, then he ran back on. Second and goal from the 5. Moon looks one way, back the other. Across the middle, he spots Drew Hill in the back of the end zone for a 5-yard touchdown strike.
Nothing to it. Give him the time, and he's going to find somebody back there. This is a problem that the Chargers had last week. You see Hill go downfield. Now he's going to break across the middle, and Betsy Glenn, number 25, doesn't stay back there. That's his zone area in this particular play. And it took so long. I guess Betsy figured no one was going to come back there by that time.
Welcome back, Drew Hill. 5 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown today. Now 7 catches on the season. Zendejas, kick for the extra point, is through. And once again, the Oilers jump on the San Diego miscue. The fumble leads to the Oiler touchdown. It's 27-14.
NBC sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Coors Light, pure brewed in the Rockies, the silver bullet won't slow you down. It's the right beer now. And by Road Handler Treadlock radials at Sears. Tough tires you can trust.
And Joe Namath with you from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Jim McMahon now asked to rally this Charger team. They trail 27-14. How does he go about picking up the confidence level now of this young squad?
Well, the first thing he'll probably do is talk to his offensive line and his receivers, ask them to be calm. The same old stuff is not going to happen again.
Usher from the 5 to the 25-yard line. Well, baseball race is still in progress. Let's go to Bob Costas for an update.
All right, Tom, here's a quick check on the American League. In 10 innings at the Sky Dome, Toronto beat Cleveland 2-1. Meanwhile, on Brett Saberhagen's 20th victory, Kansas City over Baltimore 7-0. California just finished off the White Sox 6-3, and Boston made it a 3-game sweep over the weekend against Oakland at Fenway 7-6. That tightens up the American League West as both the Royals and Angels now trail Oakland by only 2.5, and it's that same 2.5 game margin in the East, but it's a 2-team race. Toronto leading Baltimore.
Okay, Bob, Jim McMahon now under center for a first down play. Stumbled going back, might have stepped on a foot, and completes it to Early. Quinn Early has a first down, the gain of about 11 yards on the play. There's a penalty marker down. This has been a penalty-riddled game so far, with Dan Henning's club taking the field for their home opener against the much penalized Houston Oilers. This one will go against San Diego.
Holding. Number 76. Offense. First down.
Broderick Thompson with the hold. And it sets the Chargers back inside their own 15-yard line. San Diego had a 14-3 lead, but the Oilers have reeled off 24 consecutive points. And it's 27-14. Early and Miller wide to the right. Holland set to the left. Spencer is the running back. Pass to Early is complete. Hit hard after he made the catch by Al Smith. It'll be short of the first down and bring up second down. And still about 12 yards to go.
Yeah, well, that's tough. You know, you have a first down and 20. First of all, they made the first down, then you get the holding penalty, and that calls it back, and it puts your offense in a big hole. McMahon chose not to try and get it all back on one throw. He has 2 downs left to get another 12 yards. That's not bad at all.
That's Early in motion. McMahon across the middle. Miller couldn't hold it. Miller had double coverage. Looked like the ball was in there, but he couldn't hold on. Steve Brown hit him pretty hard.
Hey, McMahon couldn't be putting the ball in a better place than he's been putting it this afternoon. Miller shakes Brown to the inside, and the ball's right inside. Eaton comes up to deliver a lick from his free safety position, but by that time, Miller had already simply dropped the ball.
4 San Diego turnovers equal 17 Oiler points, as the Oilers have scored 24 consecutive points and lead it 27-14. Chargers almost exclusively going with a pass these days. That one incomplete, off the hands of Bernstein, a little too wide. So the Chargers will have to punt.
Well, that last play there, I mean, Coach Glanville has to be happy, but McMahon that last time made his mind up too quickly to go to the outside. I think he had a little more time to hold on to the ball. Plus, they needed 12 yards, and Bernstein that time, had he caught the ball, he would have needed another 10 yards to run with it, and I just don't think he would have made it. I consider that a bad offensive choice.
Colbert's earlier punt covered only 14 yards. This one much better. There's a flag down. Johnson makes a fair catch, and it may be either roughing or running into the catcher. Now, if it's running into, or the kicker, I should say. If it's running into, it's only a 5-yard penalty, and it won't make any difference.
And you might want to decline it. I'll tell you why. I don't know if this guy can get another good kickoff like this one.
This one was 46 yards. If it's roughing, it's a 15-yard penalty.
Well, I don't think it's worth a roughing call. That's not flagrant.
You got multiple foul. Defense lined up offside. Running into the kicker. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Boy, the way he's been punting, Tom, as I mentioned, I don't think that's right, Dan. We want to play. Sure, he wants to play. Colbert hasn't been hitting the ball well in his first couple of games here, so take the good punt.
46-yard punt. Yes, they'll take it. I'm sure Colbert will. He almost...
He'll take a 40-yarder.
A week ago, he averaged 34 yards. 38 was his longest. And he told us he was just trying to guide the football instead of just kicking it. And Dan Henning said with all the pressure he was getting from the media and the fans, he didn't want to put any more on him. He just said, go out and kick it.
Relax. Go out and kick it. Don't worry about it.
First down.
So they do get it sorted out, and the Chargers do indeed decline the penalties. They would have had to punt it again even after the 5-yard penalty. So they'll take the 46-yarder off the foot of Colbert, and the Oilers will put it in play from their own 32-yard line.
Well, Colbert's in trouble right now. You know, that first punt that he got off may have just bought him a ticket out of here.
All right, we'll take a break. It'll be the Oilers football when we come back to San Diego. Jim McMahon on the phone with the coaches upstairs. He's got that phone technique down pat. We went over to Charger practice yesterday, and most of the players on the field. McMahon was in his car with the doors closed, the air conditioning on, talking on his cellular telephone before practice. First down run by Pinkett to the Oilers, breaks it back and gets outside for about a 9-yard gain. Billy Ray Smith and Vincey Glenn had to chase Pinkett down. The play designed to go to the left. He broke it back to the right and made a good gainer out of it.
He made a good gainer out of it. He has good vision. And Dean Steinkuhler, who's on the left side of your screen right now, you'll end up seeing him staying with his man right over here. 99 Williams blocked him long enough for Pinkett to get around him, too. So that was just a fine play by the Oilers, and it was successful because Pinkett has such a good vision in picking holes and because Steinkuhler stayed with his man.
Steinkuhler, the first-round draft choice. They're going to measure for the first down. And it will be just barely short. Steinkuhler, a first-round draft choice on that offensive line. Matthews, a first-rounder. And they did get enough for the first down. I thought it was short. He had a better eye than I did. Last week, that 104 total yards against the Vikings, their lowest since '73. Today already 242 yards. The offensive line, which allowed 7 sacks last week of Warren Moon, has done the job today. Moon dumps it to Pinkett. Pinkett for a gain of only a couple. Lester Lyles up to make the stop with help from Leslie O'Neal. In the third quarter at Anaheim, 7-point lead for the Rams. Bears by 3. That's a big one with the Vikings. Tampa Bay leading the 49ers 9-6. And the Giants have regained the lead against the Lions. 2nd and 8 coming up for Warren Moon and company. Moon has a man wide open. Hill breaks a tackle and is inside the 45 of the Chargers. 14 yards and an Oiler first down. Warren Moon hitting on all cylinders now.
Yeah, it's just a little short pass to Drew Hill, but he's able to get it and turn upfield. He has a defender in his chase position there. You know, we have seen more and more motion by these offensive football teams the last 10 years or so. And gosh, back in the when I used to play pro football, we rarely used motion, and it really does cause havoc with the defense.
That receiving total by Hill, 2nd in the NFL, only to Jerry Rice. Moon's hit 18 of 30. Draw play to Highsmith. All right, we've got another baseball update. Let's go back to Bob Costas at NFL Live.
Tom, here's a look at the way things went in the National League East. The Cubs, the team that once made Joe Namath a contract offer, were shut out by Doug Drabeck and the Pirates 2-0, but the Cubs got help elsewhere. Langston outdueled Darling. Montreal beat the Mets 1-0. And on John Kruk's grand slam in the 12th, the Phillies won the first of 2 from the Cardinals 9-5. So pending the outcome of the second game of the St. Louis-Philadelphia doubleheader, it's Chicago by 5.5 over both the Mets and the Redbirds.
Thanks, Bob. Here at Jack Murphy, 27-14. Houston with the lead and facing a 2nd and 4. Moon from the shotgun. Again wide open, this time Duncan. Spun to the turf at the 30 by Elvis Patterson. Moon is finding the open man and getting the ball right there.
Oh, yes, and he's getting excellent pass protection. You see the safety, number 24, blitzes from the outside, and here Duncan cuts underneath Patterson, and Moon delivers the ball perfectly here. And Duncan nearly broke this thing off. Had they had the old tear-away jerseys that they used to have years ago, we'd still see Duncan running.
Moon sputtered a little bit at the outset, but he's really been on target in the second half. He's hit 6 of 7. Handoff delayed to Lorenzo White. White cuts up. He's inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Bert Grossman not fooled on the draw play to Lorenzo White. Vincey Glenn came up too.
Grossman was complaining about getting held. They didn't call it. I can see why he was complaining now. I thought he was a little slow getting off the block, and I guess they did have a hold of his jersey.
He said, here's the evidence.
That's the kind Duncan should have had on the last play. Remember when he was tackled by the jersey?
I don't think that was designed to be a tearaway. 2nd down, 6 yards to go for the Houston Oilers. They're holding a 27-14 lead and threatening again. Moon decides to run it and skips out of bounds right at the first down marker. I think he got just enough. Leslie O'Neal made sure he went out of bounds. George Hinkle was also over there, but Moon scrambling for a first down.
Yeah, Hinkle was over there, but no one is back there on Moon. You see number 97, Hinkle chasing in late pursuit there, but Moon had all kinds of time and good coverage downfield by the Chargers. The thing the Chargers really felt good about coming into this season was their defense, and the defensive pass rush was coming on. Today, this offensive line of the Oilers has done a wonderful job.
Bert Grossman is checked back in for the Chargers. He changed jerseys. He exchanged that torn 92 for number 69 now. It is a first down as Moon tiptoed just beyond the first down marker. Well, that offensive line, 4th fewest in the NFL in sacks allowed last year, and last week 7 of them by the Vikings. Today, none. And the other players were saying the front defensive line of the Chargers was comparable to the Vikings. This looks like the option. It is. The pitch to Pinkett, or Rozier it is. Rozier didn't get much. Gary Plummer used to defensing the option, we guess, comes up to make the stop on Mike Rozier.
Well, a lot of coaches say you don't risk your quarterback getting out there, but Moon's a big, strong quarterback. He doesn't take a hit at all here. There was actually not a man-2 option. The Chargers didn't have a defensive player out there except for Gary Plummer, and he was in a chase position all the way.
Mike Rozier, that's his first carry of the season, I believe.
I think he carried it one time.
Yeah,
Remember, Tom, we talked about
right.
dropping the ball earlier.
Dennis Mnuchin, our statistician, reminds us of that. Moon to Hill. Fumbled it out of bounds. The pass ruled incomplete. Sam Seal hit him hard enough to knock the ball loose. And there's a penalty marker on the play. Seal may be hurt. It's like a hold against the Oilers as Seal tried to shake off that hit. Bruce Davis on the hold. Joe, perhaps prophetically, he said to us yesterday, you know, I'll hold if it means protecting Warren Moon. He made no bones about it.
That's right. On the right side, you see Steinkuhler. Now, there's no one threatening him except, well, he does pick up the outside rusher. Now, I don't know, that could have been called holding on that side, too. But Bruce Davis says, hey, if my man beats me, I'm going to grab him. I'm going to hold him because I don't want him to have a clean shot on my quarterback. Quarterback won't be able to come back and play, maybe. If we get a holding penalty, hey, we have the ball another down. So I'll hold.
They caught him at it that time. Pinkett, nowhere to go. Les Miller leading the defensive charge, with George Hinkle getting in on the play as well. There's Les Miller, 3 years out of Fort Hays State. Originally went to Kansas State and then transferred to Fort Hays. A former replacement player for the Chargers. In fact, he was working with his parents in a crayon factory in Kansas before the '87 strike. Came in with a replacement team, the Reed Chargers, and managed to stick around and make the big squad.
At a crayon factory?
That's right.
I've seen a lot of football players carrying crayons around, but haven't seen Les carrying them around lately.
First third down that the Oilers have faced in the third quarter. They've gone 15 plays without facing a third down. Moon for the end zone. Too high. Intended for Leonard Harris. Harris was behind Johnny Thomas and Vincey Glenn, but the pass a little too tall for the 5'8" Leonard Harris.
Well, you see what happens. Harris pulls up once he's open back there, and Moon doesn't know for sure whether Leonard Harris is going to pull up. He's in the middle of your screen running down the dirt right now. Now he's going to turn to the inside. Watch. He'll come to a stop here. Now, had he kept going a couple of more steps, he'd have been able to get up there and get that ball. And as a quarterback, you don't know that he's going to stop just then. And Moon actually had that ball in the right place by the time he released it.
Zendejas with a 43-yard field goal attempt. A low kick, which is no good. Well, the Charger defense holds Houston without any further damage there. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. We've got a timeout.
Sometimes when the snap is high, the holder won't get the ball placed properly, but Montgomery gets it down neatly, has the laces squared away, and Zendejas simply misses it.
So Zendejas misses that field goal, 2 of 4 on the day. And a big miss because now the Chargers, with 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, can take the lead. They need something going, though. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. McMahon completes it across the middle to Spencer, and Spencer turns it into a 6-yard gain. Grimsley and Lyles on the tackle for the Houston Oilers. Grimsley talked to us yesterday. He was born in Canton, Ohio, home of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. His brother Ed was a linebacker for the Colts, and I said, growing up in Canton, did you really grow up with football? He said, yes, it's in my blood. He said, you know, my dad said I didn't have to play football, but he said, you don't have to live in this house either. McMahon complete to Cox. The tight end has a Charger first down at the 40. Grimsley again on the tackle. The Chargers going exclusively with a passing game now. They've abandoned the run, and it's strictly up to McMahon and his receivers.
Well, you see the linebacking core right there in the 40-yard line. They're dropping back, and they give that underneath pass up to Cox, and McMahon smartly takes it. The last 2 plays, he chose to go with the short passes, and he's been successful with them.
Fourth quarter up at Anaheim. The Rams leading the Colts 24-17. Dickerson has carried 18 times for 104 yards. Spencer, a rare run by the Chargers, and not a bad one. It nets 4 or 5 yards. Brown and Eaton on the tackle for the Houston Oilers. Let's review those scores now. There's that score from Anaheim. The Rams leading by 7. Dickerson over 100 yards rushing against his old team.
Well, the Giants have moved out ahead, and Phoenix still is controlling Seattle. But I saw one game there. Tampa Bay still has the lead over San Francisco, 9-6.
The Chargers happy to see the Raiders already lose and the Seahawks trailing. Intercepted by Robert Lyles. Lyles of the Oilers to the 30. That's the 5th turnover. Lyles brought it back 19 yards, and as was the case on the first Charger play of the game, McMahon threw it right to the defense.
And as was the case in the first play, a defensive pressure forced McMahon to throw it early, and I know he'd like to have that one back. I don't believe it was a blitz situation, but McMahon will unload the ball quickly here. As you see Richard Byrd coming around the corner, and I can only guess that McMahon expected his receiver Aaron Cox to go ahead and hook up in that area, but Lyles was in excellent position that time.
You see McMahon come in there and dive to get a piece of the tackle. 5 turnovers now against the Chargers. Joe, you take the turnovers away, and San Diego's played pretty well.
That's right, but trouble is, for San Diego, you can't take them away, and you have to give credit to the Oilers for creating some of those turnovers.
Well, that's the kind of defense they play, too, that rock'em sock'em opportunistic defense. That's supposed to be a screen. Who's blocking for whom? Pinkett finally gets away and takes it down to about the 22-yard line before Gary Plummer pounces on him.
It starts to look like an ugly play as George Yarno, the center, kind of gets in Pinkett's way here. What's number 66 right now? And here you see he and Pinkett together, and Pinkett can't get out of his way, but he still turns it into a 9-yard gain.
Second down for the Oilers, trying to add to a 27-14 lead. Just over a minute remaining in the third quarter from San Diego. Highsmith lowers his head and bangs forward for an Oiler first down just short of the 15-yard line. You could hear that one all the way up here as O'Neill and Thomas collided with Highsmith, who lowered his head and banged forward for an extra couple yards.
Well, you know, had Zendejas been successful on the last field goal, you'd say, well, the Oilers could do what they want to do now. I would, if I were a quarterback or the offensive play caller for the Oilers, simply run the clock and take this field goal. I wouldn't risk putting the ball in the air anymore because I'd like to get 3 points. That would force the Chargers to have to make 3 scores to get back in the game.
Just on the skinned part of the baseball infield, first down from the 16. Highsmith, touchdown. Alonzo Highsmith rambles 16 yards for the Oiler touchdown.
Well, this is all in the line play, folks. Good blocking up front by those Oilers. Once again, George Yarno gets on Billy Ray Smith, and Highsmith just refuses to be brought down short of that goal line. Once again, just good blocking out in front by especially George Yarno, taking the injured Jay Pennison's place at center today.
Zendejas nails the extra point. Alonzo Highsmith with a 16-yard touchdown run. As we see the scene repeated, the Oilers taking advantage of a San Diego turnover for more points. 31 consecutive points by the Oilers have given them a 34-14 lead with just 16 ticks of the clock left in the third quarter. And as is the case so many times in these games, the turnovers have really been the difference.
It has been the difference. You know, the Chargers have really played much better than they did last week. The Oilers we expect to see a good game from because they're a good football team, and after suffering that loss last week, you expect them to come out here fired up and show themselves well. And their turnovers have been the tell because the Chargers have played one of their better games of football over the last couple of years.
Usher takes the kickoff. Looking for some room. Bounces to the outside. Can't quite turn the corner, though. Flag down as Usher is taken out of bounds. Run out of bounds by Richard Johnson. And the penalty marker right at the point where he crossed the out-of-bounds line.
Well, it appeared Usher had hold of Richard Johnson's face mask that time. Probably go against the Chargers. There's Usher.
It will go against San Diego. Houston came in as the reputation as the much penalized team. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers don't have more penalties against them in this game. San Diego 101 yards total in penalties to only 50 for the Houston Oilers.
Illegal use of hands. Number 26 on a return team. First down.
But 26 is the ball carrier. Now watch his left hand. He has it up here. And I don't know. It looks like he has a hold of that face mask. And I don't know why the referee didn't say a face mask penalty. But illegal use of hands is the same thing, basically.
There's that penalty situation we were talking about. So McMahon will begin from his own 20-yard line. Just 5 seconds left in the third quarter. McMahon dumps it out to Bernstein. And Bernstein shakes one tackler, comes back the other way, still on his feet, across the 30. He's got a first down. Rod Bernstein with an exciting run. It took Sean Jones all 275 pounds of him to finally get Bernstein down. That'll bring the third quarter to an end. The Oilers lead it 34-14. Ready to start the fourth quarter. 34-14 Oilers leading the Chargers. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath with you from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. An overcast day, the sun occasionally peeking through, but no rain. Field in good shape. The Chargers suffering from 5 turnovers, leading to that 20-point deficit. McMahon goes deep. Miller can't get there. Patrick Allen covering Miller on the play. Earlier in the game, he hooked up with McMahon for a 63-yard touchdown. Couldn't quite get there on that one. You know, that last play of the third quarter, Jim McMahon took a pretty good shot as he got rid of the football.
What I like about McMahon here is he makes it look like pass downfield. Look where he's looking. Look at his posture. He really does fool the defense, but here he gets knocked down. And with his history of injuries, to play like that, he could hurt his shoulder or whatever. Quarterbacks take a lot of licks without the football, and most of the times we're only sure of him getting hit when he has the ball, but a lot of times we don't get to see him knocked down.
2nd and 10. McMahon got rid of it. Johnny Meads was bearing down on McMahon. He managed to get rid of it to Holland and made a gain out of it. And then McMahon goes down again. And of course, Jim McMahon, with all his brilliance, his reckless abandon on the playing field, has been often injured. So you depend on his brilliance, but you have to take the consequences. 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. All those years missing some games because of injury.
Well, he's solid this year so far, Tom. He's feeling good. He says he's in good shape, and he appears to be in good shape. He's been getting pretty good blocking from that offensive line, and that's what he's going to have to get this offense on track the rest of the season.
Third down pass complete for a first down to Bernstein. Look at Bernstein go to midfield. Well, he took 6 of them with him. He's been doing that all day out of Texas A&M in his third year. 6'3", 238 pounds, first-round draft choice.
What's great is Bernstein's coming off an ugly knee injury, and last week he carried the ball twice. Here you can see that he's not concerned with that knee. It's well, he's carrying the tacklers along with him, so you've got to be awful happy with the recovery and recuperation of that knee injury.
He's having a big day. 8 receptions, 77 yards for Bernstein. He had 3 catches coming in. Spencer, flag down.
Flag off to take Spencer. Penalty flag on the field.
Well, another penalty against the Chargers. They're already in double figures. Penalty number 11 against San Diego on over 100 yards in mark-offs.
Boy, these penalties, though, these illegal procedures in motion, that's just lack of concentration.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Now, illegal formation, did McMahon call it wrong, being unfamiliar with it, or did one of the players just blow the assignment?
No, when I hear illegal formation, basically what it is you don't have enough men on the line of scrimmage. It's a rule. You must have at least 7 linemen on that line of scrimmage, and sometimes with an H-back and your wide receivers, they're off the line of scrimmage when one of them has made a mistake.
McMahon lays it out there, and it's caught by Cox. Arthur Cox, just short of the 30-yard line, nets a 24-yard reception from McMahon. First down for the Chargers.
All right, Jim McMahon gets the ball off just in time and puts it in the perfect position here. Hey, he's holding that right arm a little bit strange there, but the way he's been passing the football, I don't think anything's wrong with that right hand, or wrist, or arm.
No, he has been throwing it already over 200 yards. We said at the opening of the telecast that that's the Charger tradition. The quarterbacks that like to go upfield in a hurry, and McMahon living up to that today. Pumps once and then goes down. Bubba McDowell, the strong safety, gets the first sack of the day for the Houston Oilers. He beat David Richards, who didn't pick him up, and McDowell takes McMahon down.
Well, once again, when you get a safety blitz, normally one of your wide receivers is supposed to read this thing and break it up. McMahon's ready to throw. Look, he wants to get it out there, but he didn't have his receiver looking that time. So here's a low-angle shot of it, and you'll see there's McDowell, number 25, on the left of your screen, coming in there. He's unaccounted for and not blocked. McMahon, I think, sensed that earlier, but his wide receiver missed it.
2nd and 16. McMahon goes for the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Miller, and the interception almost made by Chris Dishman. He had his hands all over it.
Well, Dishman was in excellent position that time for where the pass was. I know McMahon would like to have had that ball farther out front. Here you see Dishman, number 28, on Miller, in good shape. But if this ball is out farther, out front, over top, then you've got a shot at it. You see Miller had to slow down for the ball, and that allowed Dishman to make the good play.
3rd down and 16 coming up for McMahon and the Chargers. 300 yards in a game once before is knocking on the door here. Great catch, Quinn Early snagged it at the 20-yard line, 18 yards, Charger first down, as McMahon, for the 2nd time in his career, goes over 300 yards passing.
Oh, nice move by McMahon, leaving the pocket and then finding Early and delivering the ball in just the right place. On the run, he gets it out in front of Early, who makes a very nice catch. You know, that stat about not throwing for more than 300 yards in the past, with the exception of once, that's because he's had a good team in Chicago. What a nice catch, huh? That's because he's had a good team to work with in Chicago. They didn't have to throw the ball a lot.
Play action pass here. McMahon lofts it up. Miller to the 2. Patrick Allen knocked Anthony Miller out of bounds. 17 yards as McMahon adds to that 300-yard plus total. Anthony Miller's had a good receiving day.
Well, yes, he's had a pretty good day. He could have held on a couple of other passes. Here he's just running a crossing pattern. There he is, number 83. There's not a defender close to him right now, and there comes Patrick Allen. But I tell you what, if the Chargers are able to get this in for 7 points, folks, you're going to see a new game here because they're within striking distance. And odds are, you know, the Oilers haven't had a turnover yet, but how long can they go without a turnover?
331 yards for McMahon. Last time I formation. McMahon throws it away. Caravello closest to it. McMahon just sailed it out of the end zone when he felt the pressure. And there is a penalty marker. What else is new? It'll go against the Oilers.
Did we finally get one? Personal foul. 99. Unnecessary roughness. First down.
Did you hear Arthur Cox? He said, did we finally get one? Thanks, Rep.
Well, she might get a hand on McMahon right here, and gee whiz, that's a real chintzy call, in my opinion. I mean, Doug Smith didn't do anything to harm McMahon, but they have a new rule in this year that they've cut that down to 1 step. If a defender has more than 1 step and hits the quarterback, it's a personal foul, roughing the passer.
First and goal from the 1. Spencer. And I don't think he quite got in. Grimsley really filled the hole to stop him without breaking the plane of the goal line. There's John Grimsley, the tough Pro Bowl linebacker of the Oilers.
You know, I asked Grimsley how he's able to get in on so many tackles. Here he is right in the middle of your screen on the bottom. Here he just fills the hole and holds his ground, actually knocked Spencer back a little bit.
What a job that was. He didn't even allow him any forward momentum. He just stuffed him backwards. Second and goal. Spencer and Butts in the eye. Second man, Butts. He didn't get in. This time it was Richard Byrd that stacked it up at the line of scrimmage. And it'll be third and goal from the 1. No wonder they haven't used the running game much.
Yeah, well, they are outmanned up front. I mean, there's no doubt that this Houston Oilers defensive front is better than what the offensive line of San Diego has been performing so far.
They did have trouble punching it across the goal line a year ago. And today they haven't done much on the ground. 15 rushes for only 26 yards. Third and goal from the 1. For the touchdown. Marion Butts finally gets the job done for the Chargers on the 3rd try from a yard away. He bursts into the end zone for the Chargers score. Might have been a little shaken up. Looks a little gimpy as he comes back to the bench.
Gimpy?
Gimpy.
You know, I thought that was my name for a lot of years. People kept saying, Gimpy, come here. Good job by Butts. You know, he did mostly blocking chores while he was at FSU. People didn't think he could carry the ball as well as he is. Oh, my, throw it, son.
Archer does throw it, but it'll be no good as the catch is made by Plummer. Couldn't get into the end zone. I don't know if the snap was bad or Archer just fumbled it. David Archer, the backup quarterback, as they misconnect on the extra point attempt. Timeout, 9:04 left in the 4th. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
The snap by number 84, Chris Gannon, normally a tight end, is high into Archer's outside, and he can't quite handle the ball. Now, whether this play figures to be a big one at the end of the game or not, we don't know, but the reason he couldn't get that ball down there was the bad snap from Gannon.
Archer, the backup quarterback, tried to make something out of it, but couldn't. And the Chargers trail by 14. Onside kick. It went 10 yards, but the Oilers managed to pounce on it. There's a flag down. Chargers came pretty close to getting that one.
Yes,
Johnny Meads just saved the day.
I don't think the ball had traveled 10 yards by the time Barr tried to get it. The ball still has to go 10 yards.
You think he touched it before it went in?
Yes, I do. And I'm a little surprised that there's an onside kick at this stage. We still have 9 minutes left in the game and 2 scores down. And Houston was waiting for the onside kick. They had all of their people up there. Coach Glanville had anticipated an onside kick.
Here's the man dressed in black, Jerry Glanville. The official reason for dressing in black, he says, the players can always spot me on the sideline. I think he just likes that image.
It's worked for Johnny Cash.
He's got an armadillo on that left sleeve, too. He says that's for all the folks in West Texas who he's made Oiler fans.
I think Johnny Cash's music worked also. It still does.
Still waiting for the call.
Could be looking at a replay, Tom, for some reason. But we have a replay of it. First of all, the ball needs to go 10 yards, and it appeared to me that Barr touches the ball before it crosses that. You see, he's touching it there. That's illegal. You can't do that. It's got to get over that line.
It went 9 before he was trying to coax it along and then just finally reached down to try to pick it up.
I tell you, I'm baffled. I don't know what they're looking for. It seems to me it just ought to be Houston's ball. They ended up recovering it.
This is an interesting scene. Players with their helmets off. They're down there chatting. The two opposing teams. Their players are all mixed up and talking back and forth. Looks like the end of the game almost.
It's nice to see those players getting along for a change. You know, not one fight out there right now, folks. You won't see that very often. One more look at it. Barr doesn't hit it quite right. He just tries to hit it gently and get it over the line, but then he touches the ball. When I say the line, I mean the 10-yard marker, the 45-yard line. And here you see it's recovered nicely by the Oilers, Johnny Meads, and I don't understand what the holdup is. Now we'll get an explanation.
We have a short free kick by the kicking team, which is a 5-yard penalty, recovered by the receiving team, declined. Receiving team, first down.
In the preseason, Chris Barr did work that onside kick. He recovered his own kick in the preseason, tried to coax it again, but couldn't quite get it to 10 yards, and so the Oilers will take over.
Yes, but I'm surprised that Dan Henning chose to try the onside kick with 9 minutes left to play. His defense hasn't been doing a poor job, and the Oilers haven't had a turnover yet, so you'd think that he'd try and kick it deep and let his defense go to work.
Up in Anaheim, it's a final score now. The Rams beat the Colts 31-17, despite 100 yards plus by Eric Dickerson. Alonzo Highsmith gets the call on first down. Gary Plummer with another tackle. George Hinkle also in on the stop for the Chargers.
Well, at this stage of the game with a 2-touchdown lead, again, I'd be a little surprised to see the Oilers throwing the ball. There's the scoring drive, and nice drive it was, too, by San Diego.
As McMahon went over the 300-yard mark. Pinkett to the 40. Gilbert came up to stop him. Grossman got a piece of it, too. The rookie Grossman's had a pretty good game. We understand Randall Cunningham of the Eagles has signed an extension of his contract, Joe. He'll be staying around Philadelphia for a while.
Watch how Pinkett wraps this thing up nicely with 2 hands here. You see that? A direct snap to Alan Pinkett. And what I liked about Pinkett, here he is, running up in there. You watch, before he gets hit, he'll put that left arm around the ball, too. No fumbling for him at this stage.
The Oilers will do that a couple of times a game from the shotgun, snap it directly to the running back. Moon, plenty of time. He's got it to Pinkett. Pinkett fumbles the ball, but out of bounds. Let's see. It'll be ruled down just close to the first down marker. Billy Ray Smith made the tackle, and the ball came loose. If they rule it, he was down before the fumble, it'll be short of the first down. If they allow the place where the fumble went out of bounds, it'll be a first down. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I think, you know, since the man that fumbled the ball let it go out of bounds, let's bring it back to the spot. It's going to be close, whether it's a first down or not. But you see here, they wouldn't allow that ball to go forward.
Yeah.
That's right. That'd bring it back to the spot that he fumbled it.
just short of the first down.
So what do? Do you go for it on 4th down, Tom, or do you try that field goal with Zendejas? Well,
Warren Moon answered that question.
Or Jerry Glanville won.
Right.
Rozier, he's wearing his earring, too, while he's playing. Usually I thought these guys took their jewelry off.
Just short of the first down.
He is well loved by his teammates. We asked yesterday if there was any animosity because of Rozier staying out of camp, and they said, hey, no, we know Mike. No one comes up to play on game day more than Mike Rozier. And he plays while he's hurt, too. He's just a fine football player.
4th and inches for the Oilers. Moon probably got enough. Earlier in the game, Moon, with a quarterback sneak, scored a touchdown from 1 yard out, and here he picks up a Houston first down. We're talking about Mike Rozier, the jokester, one of them on this Houston team, and I don't know, not in the best of shape as he came back out of his holdout, and he wouldn't talk to us yesterday. He didn't want to have any part of us. I don't know if it was you or what.
No, it wasn't me, but I was surprised. Maybe it was, but I was surprised that Mike wouldn't visit with us. All we wanted to do was find out how he's feeling and all.
He's been used sparingly today. From the 31-yard line, the Oilers have a first down. They lead it 34-20. Pinkett is to the 25-yard line. Lester Lyles and Johnny Thomas stop him from any further gain, as the Oilers content now to keep it on the ground behind that big offensive line and let the clock do its damage to the Chargers. We're down inside the 6-minute mark, as you see.
Well, what the Chargers have to do now is try and rip that ball out of the ball carrier's hands. They've got to create a turnover to have any chance of winning this game right now.
2nd and about 5 for the Oilers, who have not been a good road team, but have had plenty of experience with 6 straight this season, counting the exhibition schedule. Alan Pinkett gets the call again on the pitch from the option from Moon, and he takes it for 11 yards and another Oiler first down.
Anytime Warren Moon sees that particular defense, he knows there's just one man outside to option on. He's going to audibilize to it and take it. Right now, you'll see there's just one defensive player out there that chose to take Moon and look outside. Not another defensive player, and Pinkett makes a good game.
Billy Ray Smith made the wrong decision. He went after Moon, and Moon just pitched it to Pinkett for the first down. I don't know if he made the wrong decision, but he made a decision, and Moon reacted to it. Pinkett again. He's the workhorse at the moment. He runs into George Hinkle and goes down as the clock continues to tick away, now at 4.5 minutes left. Oilers at one time scored 31 consecutive points to take control of the game.
And a big reason for that, too, were the turnovers by the Chargers, the field position that they gave the Oilers. Now, granted, the Oilers caused a couple of turnovers, but a pass that should have been completed, for example, off the receiver's hands into the Oilers' hands. You know, those kind of plays are just foul-ups on the Chargers' behalf.
Pinkett. Nice run close to the 5-yard line, a yard or so short of the first down. Speaking of nice runs, of course, one of the great running backs in NFL history, Earl Campbell, played for the Houston Oilers, and here is Earl with a great run against the Chargers. Watch the tackles he breaks.
Boy, he gets that body lean out there, and those huge legs of his just keep driving. Campbell had tremendous speed, too, for a big man. Not to mention the 2nd and 3rd and 4th effort that he gives him.
That was a great run against these same San Diego Chargers, and Houston Oilers picked by many to win the AFC Championship. On the verge of scoring their first victory of the year after losing in Minnesota a week ago. They'll return for their first game in the Astrodome next week, and they'll play the tough Buffalo Bills, the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Pass intended for Givens is incomplete. The pass a little low from Warren Moon.
Well, I know they have a lot of confidence in their passing game and their offensive attack, but I don't understand the reasoning right now to even throwing the ball. They're just ripping that thing up there in the running game, gaining yardage in pretty good chunks. Why they chose to go to the pass there is beyond me. It stops the clock, which can still be a factor here if San Diego can create a turnover.
Well, Zendejas is going to try a 24-yard field goal attempt, which will force the Chargers to have to score more than 2 times. And he missed it. Well, Zendejas missed it. He's now 2 for 5 on the day in the field goal department. So the Oilers' lead stays at 34-20.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. By United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. And by new Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath, Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego. 3 minutes left in the game. 34-20, the Oilers lead it. Chargers now go right to the air. McMahon's pass incomplete. Jim McMahon on the day is 22 of 37 passing, 330 yards. He's thrown a touchdown pass. He also has thrown 3 interceptions. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the San Diego Chargers and the National Football League is prohibited. This game, property of the NFL, the Chargers and Oilers, all rights reserved. McMahon sends Early and Holland wide to the left. Miller is to the right. Now Early in motion. McMahon sacked for the 2nd time today. Taken down at the 12-yard line by Ray Childress and Eric Bears. And he is hobbling as he gets up. I guess he's all right, Joe, but he was limping a little bit as he got up from the sack. And, of course, he's in that situation now where the Oilers know what he has to do, and they just can come with their pass rush full bore.
Yeah, this is the most difficult time for the offensive line to try and pick up the pass rush.
Although there hasn't been much doubt the whole game, the running attack for the Chargers have been non-existent. They're going to try a draw there. It's Bernstein. Bernstein makes a nice move to get to the outside and then typically drags a couple of men with him. Flag down as they hit him out of bounds, and that'll be enough to give the Chargers a first down. Bernstein came up just a little short. The penalty will get the job done. Jerry Glanville arguing his case over there.
I'll tell you one thing, Tom. You know, you look at this field, they don't have the white on the sides of the field. And that's Coach Glanville was complaining about that last week. The players don't know sometimes when they're out of bounds.
Personal foul, number 23, on the defense, unnecessary roughness, first down.
Richard Johnson called for the unnecessary roughness. Let's watch it again as Bernstein draws a crowd as usual.
Yes, but you see that area over by the sideline. That's supposed to be white for about 3 feet right there. And without that white being there, some of these players really don't know that they're off the playing field.
Yeah, but Johnson had to know, Joe. He jumped on him 2 feet out of bounds and just joined the pile of players. McMahon finally pushed out of bounds by Eric Bears. That was a legal hit.
That was also very good coverage downfield because Jim McMahon did all he could to avoid a sack. Had plenty of time to find someone open, but a receiver never found an open spot. So those Oilers in the secondary did a marvelous job of staying with their men.
34-24 a final score as Phoenix beats Seattle. Chargers still with a full complement of timeouts as we approach the 2-minute warning. Anthony Miller, who was second to Darrell Green of Washington in the NFL's fastest man contest, showed us some pretty good hands that time after dropping a couple earlier in the game. 20 yards and a Charger first down as we break for the 2-minute warning. A minute and 57 seconds left in San Diego. Chargers with the ball trailing by 14 points. Turnovers have spelled their downfall today. I asked you as we started the telecast, Joe, if Jim McMahon could make the Chargers a contender in what is a rather weak division, the AFC West. What do you think?
Well, I think by his performance today, of course he can. Even before the game, we felt like that the Chargers had a shot if they continue to improve. And McMahon's performance today has been a good one, with the exceptions of 2 reads, I guess. They've got to learn to hold on to the ball, and they've also got to find some pass rush defensively. The Oilers' offensive line has just done a marvelous job of keeping these Chargers away from Warren Moon today.
And is this the Oiler team you expected on the heels of that blowout? There's Big O Davis, who is one of the men of that offensive line. Is this the offensive team and defensive team you expected to see for the Oilers?
Yes, this is more of the Oilers. They had an awful game last week, but they have rebounded nicely.
McMahon's pass, nice catch by Miller. Again, he shows us the good hands as he goes high off the ground to make the catch with Patrick Allen all over him. Well, he's more than just a speedster.
Oh, he held on to that rock that time.
First down at the Oiler 29-yard line. Well, that one is too tall for anyone. Holland was the man closest to it. Anthony Miller today, Joe, has made 5 catches for 140 yards, including a touchdown.
Good stats, and he probably could have caught another couple of passes that he had his hands on. You know, I might be whistling Dixie here, but if you get a score right now in the next couple of plays, San Diego still has plenty of time to get back even. So the Oilers, I know they're not too relaxed back there because I'm pretty sure they realize they need to stop San Diego and stop them now.
Mayon's old team, the Bears, with a surprising victory over the Vikings, 38-7. Had it. I think the collision jarred it loose at the 10-yard line. He was close to making the reception at the 10. I was about to whistle Dixie, but I didn't quite.
I'll tell you what, though, Early, I think, dropped that ball before the collision. McMahon puts the ball right where he needs to put it, and I don't think Early really does catch it, or he doesn't catch it, but right now, boom, he's supposed to have it. He drops it. That's just a clear-cut drop. Regardless whether he got hit or not, he dropped the ball before he got hit.
Yeah, I think he anticipated the hit, probably.
Now that can cause a little distraction, you know, worrying about those defensive backs coming up on you.
Career-high passing day for McMahon. To the end zone early. Again, can't handle it. Through double coverage. Steve Brown and Richard Johnson converged on Quinn early. It'll be 4th down coming up. 42,013 at Jack Murphy Stadium today. Not a sellout. And a little disappointing. They're a fairly exciting team to watch when McMahon gets this aerial game in gear.
Well, not only that, the Houston Oilers are here. One of the better teams in the league. I would think these football fans would be out in full force today to see not only their home team and Jim McMahon, the new star here with the Chargers, but to see a top-notch quality team in the NFL and the Oilers.
How do you figure? The Vikings blow out the Oilers a week ago. Houston rebounds on the verge, apparently, of a victory, and Minnesota gets blown out.
Can't figure him, Tom.
Nice catch for a first down. Anthony Miller makes it in front of Patrick Allen. And the Chargers retain the football with a 4th down pass good enough for first down yardage.
I've been trying to figure out these football games for a long time, and you just never know. These athletes on the pro teams are so good that on any given day, and a good example was last week with the Oilers. You know, they have a fine team, but they didn't play well, and Minnesota just jumped all over them and beat them worse than they've been beaten in a long time.
You see the clock. First down play. It's at the 17 of the Oilers. McMahon has to throw it away. Flag down. Steve Brown was putting the pressure on McMahon, and the flag goes down. It'll be against Houston.
Personal foul, number 24, defense, unnecessary roughness, first down.
Steve Brown called for the roughness.
Well, we mentioned earlier that these players are not allowed to hit the quarterback if they're taking more than one step after he has it released. And you see Brown only runs into him, but he took a good 2 steps. Now, that's a new rule, and it's in the game now to help protect the quarterbacks who are in an awful vulnerable position. And these defensive players have got to start abiding by it.
McMahon's taken a beating today on his career-high passing day. One-handed catch by Cox, who totes it to the 5-yard line. Cox just reached a big paw out there and grabbed it while McMahon was doing all he could do to get rid of it.
Well, I'll tell you what else Arthur Cox did, all 277 pounds of him. He gets knocked to the turf. He's down on the ground. McMahon's waiting for him to get up. He gets back up and makes the one-handed catch. And then, like a bowling ball going through pins, just knocked guys off of him.
1:03 left. Second down. The ball on the 5-yard line. They need 2 touchdowns to tie. Flags fly. In terms of penalties, this has been a pretty sloppy game. Jerry Glanville waiting, his team leading by 14, 1:03 on the clock.
Yeah, and Glanville and Henning both know, Coach Henning know, if the Chargers can get this in the end zone, anything can happen. There's plenty of time left for a couple of big plays. Onside kick, maybe the Chargers will get it back and then strike, so you might have a tie game.
There's a very costly penalty.
False start, offense, number 74, second down.
I'll tell you what, that is not as costly a penalty as it may appear. First of all, it didn't lose any time. Secondly, with this penalty, it's on the left side of your screen, and boy, I'll tell you what, the offensive man did come out of his stance. He should have held firm. But what this penalty does is it gives the Chargers more room to operate back there in their passing attack. If they were on the 5-yard line, they'd only have 15 yards to work with. Now they're on the 10, they have 20 yards to work with.
All right, let's see if McMahon can do it. Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Got a man wide open. Touchdown, Miller. 10-yard play. McMahon was over there rolling to buy time. He waved them, said go the other way, and they were wide open. He got Miller for the TD. So Barr will try the extra point, and Henning's team, if the extra point is good, would be with his 7. 55 seconds left. Miller, 7 catches, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Barr's extra point is true. All right, get set for the onside kick when we return to San Diego. 7-point game. 55 seconds left, 34-27. The Chargers set up for the onside kick attempt. They have 7 players lined up to the left of Chris Barr. There they are, ready to go after it. They've got it. Chargers have it. Lester Lyles made the recovery of the onside kick. Did it go 10 yards? It'll be close. Lyles really made a good pickup of the ball as Barr sent it bounding across the field.
Well, it appeared to be a good recovery by the Chargers. Lyles was over the line, I thought, They're discussing it on the field now, and I hope we have a replay of that because it was a nice kick. Boy, that ball took a good bounce for Lester Lyles.
Still no ruling officially. The Chargers are pointing that they have it.
Not from where they're taking the ball.
Well, they spotted it beyond the 10 yards. Here's the call.
Kicking team touched the ball after it went 10 yards. First down.
It is the Chargers football. Watch it again now. Lyles made the recovery.
Second man from the bottom of the screen. Watch the ball bounce right to him. He's in the air, has the ball. I know if you're sitting at home in Houston, that wasn't a very good shot of it, but we'll see how Coach Glanville felt about it. Whoa, he didn't like it.
And now, Joe, they're reviewing it.
Well, they better have a better angle than we saw because that's inconclusive from what we saw.
He was flying through the air. Now, it looked like while in the air, he had the ball on one side of the 10-yard marker and then flew over it after he picked up the ball. That is a tough call.
Well, let's look at it again with our replay. He's the second man. He's on the bottom of the screen right there, number 24. I don't know whether the ball's to him yet or not.
You can't really tell when he has possession of the ball.
Another angle may be able to tell at the right side of your screen, and no, you can't tell from this one either. You have to remember, folks, that it has to be conclusive. They must be able to tell without a doubt whether he caught it before or after the line.
Here it is from the field angle. Ball coming right at you. That is a tough call.
It sure is.
And a big call.
Yep.
Seven-point lead for the Oilers. If the ball goes to the Chargers, they'll have 55 seconds left to try to tie the game.
I want to know how they're going to be able to, you know, I can't see conclusively myself, Tom. We've looked at it from 4 different angles, and, well, there's still doubt, and if there is doubt, it'll go with the way it's called on the field because you don't see the ball. You don't know if it's on him or not.
I don't know that he had possession. With his back to you, you couldn't really see.
Well, possession in this case wouldn't be a factor. If he just touches the ball before it goes to 10. But it's something that they have to guess at, I would think, because you really never see if the ball does get in his arm. Well, at least until he's past the line.
Can't see where the contact really did take place.
And that line being the 45-yard line because they kicked it from the 35-yard line.
Well, we had a little bit of everything in this game, haven't we?
We sure have.
Here in the replay booth, Royal Cathcart making a crucial call, or attempting to.
Well, once again, it's got to be conclusive. They've got to know for sure, be able to tell for sure with the replays if he did in fact touch it before it went to 10 yards.
Yeah, my vote's inconclusive. What
That's
about
right.
you?
That's what I'm saying. From the replays that I saw, I couldn't tell you for sure.
He's certainly taking a long, hard look at it.
Could he have any other replays that we don't have?
Jim McMahon is warming up with David Archer over on the on the field. He's trying to keep that passing arm loose, and he's passed for almost 400 yards today. Well, next Sunday, hope you'll join us on NBC for a great doubleheader.
After further review, we have a short free kick, 5-yard penalty, kicking team, re-kick.
What a big call to go against the San Diego Chargers. It's reversed on replay. And the Chargers will have to try it again.
Well, I'm just curious to what they saw that we didn't. We looked at it from 4 different angles and could never tell conclusively. So here we go again. Coach Henning's going to ask them to do it again. Now, because of the 5-yard penalty, they don't have to get it 15 yards to recover. They still have to get it 10 yards downfield before the Chargers are allowed to touch the ball and recover it legally.
All right. 55 seconds still on the clock. On replay, what was an apparently recovered onside kick has been reversed. 3 timeouts remaining. You saw the score. Houston with a 7-point lead. And once again, Chris Barr will try to get the onside kick to work. It was so close the last time. They'll line up the same way. 7 players down at the 15-yard line. Barr has 3 around him. It must go to the 40. Still loose. Oilers have it. Houston recovers this time after it bounced off a couple of players. This one was close too, Joe.
Yes, well, Houston went up and tried to catch the ball before it got over the 10 yards. Now it's a free ball once he touches it. And fortunately for the Oilers, someone was alert and got right on it.
Robert Lyle's the man that got on it. Rambo's down there helping. Robert Lyles recovers it for the Oilers. 53 seconds left in the game. Houston by 7. Pinkett. And San Diego calls timeout, stopping the clock at 48 seconds. So we have 48 seconds left. We'll take a break and return to San Diego in a moment. .48 seconds left in the game. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Houston Oilers. Now it's time for the Budweiser MVP. Today's MVP, the offensive line of the Houston Oilers, who turned it around after a subpar game against the Vikings last week. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of the MVPs in today's game. The Houston offensive line. Pinkett stumbles. Covered quickly by Plummer, who signals for a timeout. 43 seconds left. So the Chargers now down to their final timeout. And a 3rd down facing the Oilers. 3rd and 5.
Well, if the Chargers are able to stop the Oilers here, they spend their last timeout. It will give the Oilers one more play, the 4th down play. But the most important thing now for the Chargers is to stop Warren Moon and the Oilers from picking up a 1st down here.
21 of 35 for Warren Moon on the afternoon, after he had completed only 8 of 20 against the Vikings and was sacked 7 times last week. Offensive line gave him time today, and Warren Moon delivered.
That's all he needs is a little time. He has plenty of tools around to work with. A fine core of wide receivers, a finer core of running backs may not be found on any one NFL team. And it all starts up front, folks, with those big fellas right there in that offensive line.
3rd and 5. Moon changes the play. Runs the option. And makes a good gain out of it. He's got an Oiler 1st down. It looked like he was hemmed up behind the line, and Warren Moon dives forward for the 1st down that ought to just about wrap it up for the Houston Oilers. Well, Warren Moon told us he was going to be more aggressive. He was going to change more plays at the line, and he checked off here and then made a pretty nifty bit of running to get the 1st down.
He sure did. That option play is a terrific play. Houston has utilized it better than anyone I've seen in professional football ever utilize it. I remember the old Baltimore Colts when they had Tom Matty playing quarterback years ago. He'd do a lot of running, but I have not seen the option play utilized so effectively by anyone in pro ball ever as the Houston Oilers.
Well, the play of the game turned out to be the recovery of an onside kick, which was reversed on replay. And here is that crucial play again. Lyles has it, or does he? We can't tell. He sailed over that 10-yard marker, and on a long replay, it was overruled, the ball given to the Oilers. And on Moon's 3rd down run, they had command of the game, just 12 seconds left. and a 7-point lead. Jerry Glanville will get his first win of the '89 season. They'll go 1-1. The Chargers will fall to 0-2. Tough loss for San Diego. They really did hang in there, despite 5 turnovers. And the game will come to an end. So the Houston Oilers get a scare from the San Diego Chargers, but with the help of the replay official, hold on.